Hello, hello. Welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. Like, I don't know really what to say about it. Yeah, last time, our character, I can't remember the Chinese words I used, but Foxborough is the English translation, ended up in a devastating series of events after they went to see their adopted father in Hong Kong and meeting up with their former adopted brother. Through a series of events, they had to burn their sins, a system ID identification chip that has your whole personal identity on it, and ending up having to step into the shadows, aka the criminal activities of becoming a shadow. By talking to a crime boss called which I forget what they call her. It should be in this thing. Shang, kindly Shang. It's Hioi. We're back in Hioi. Let me just read this. It's hard to shake off the walled city. Its gravity. Actually, no, it's probably just going to load straight into it. Basically, we left a walled city, which is a real thing in the real world. Which was a real thing in the real world. It is now gone. It was destroyed in 1994, and was basically this lawless, small portion of Hong Kong, where it had hundreds, thousands of people in it. It was the most people for square acres or square feet or something like that, and the government really didn't trend there. This is when it was 1994, so would still be when what the hell is that? It's like a weird dolphin thing. I'm assuming this is a magic shop just from the looks of it. I'm trying to find where we need to go. Okay, there. Tread. This was 1994, so the British, I think, would still be in charge of Hong Kong at that point. Because I think, the transfer over to Hong Kong's independence was only in 1999, so that must have been when British control was waning, I think. Anyway, we need to go back to our base to meet up with the other Shadowrunners and get accustomed to home. And Gobbet, you two can bunk here for a while. She nods to her nose towards a hatch. You gotta get ahead to take care of necessities. Try to knock before you enter someone else's, okay? Seriously. I know the drill. Wu turns to you. Stinks of fish, just like the place we squatted on Levery Avenue back when we were kids. One with the Alstown family and their dog. They were good people. Yeah, but until the 16-2s decided they wanted a place. He wipes his nose with his gloved hand. They were good people. Sorry that had to happen to him. He stretches his spine. His spine pops, and a handful of firecrackers. I think I've been up for something like 36 hours straight. He drops his arms, and this has been one shit-stained day. Time to end it. The orc turns to you, raises an eyebrow. Anything else before I leave you to it? Is it just you and Isabel living here? Yeah, Gobbert's mouth moves up a bit. Now that Nigel and Gunshot are gone, it's just us. The squeak of metal grinding on metal rips through the boat. It sounds like it's coming from the levels below. And the creepy Russian guy renting the engine room downstairs. Nothing to worry about. He mostly keeps to himself. He checks our PDA. He'll stop soon. He's usually quiet by now. Is there any place for my stuff? Yeah, check the locker over there. You can stash your stuff in it. No one's gonna touch your things in there. And it's a little bigger than it looks. Video game logic there. To a degree, because that's why we're going to keep all our stuff that we pick up. How do you get your hands on this place? How do people like us get our hands on anything? We found it. You found it empty. He swipes his eyes across the cabin, doubting it's plain on his face. Somebody abandoned a prime piece of real estate like this. She shrugs. Close enough. It was full of BTL junkies when we came across it. They were completely wigged out on some multiplayer cyber game. I'm not sure they ever chipped out of it. They were completely animatic, strewed in piles of their own shit. Their eyes had sunken into their skulls. Pretty gruesome stuff. Dear God, yeah, that is messed up. Like, they were like so far into the game, they racked up a killer score though. Isabel, buddy, please. True, they had moves. They should have hung an IV while they were playing though. Turns out nutrition is important. What happened? Did they die? She shrugs. Nigel ran them out. Not sure what happened to them after that. Anyway, it's ours now. Auntie Chang says so. All but the danger room, you mean? Right, everything but that. Auntie rented it out from under us. That must have pissed you off. She shrugs. Whatever, we weren't using it, and as long as our downstairs neighbor keeps it himself, we can have the lower he can have the lower levels. The lower level, especially if it keeps Shang happy. I'm gonna have a look around. Okay, but get some sleep soon. You look like you could use it. I'll go see kindly in the morning, figure out our next move. Wow, they just kind of zipped around there. Got our little room there. We got Duncan's room, and I'm pretty sure Isabel's. Yeah. Okay, cool. I wonder where new members are gonna sleep. Let's talk to Duncan first. See the usual walk around. Hey Yang, I've got something I've got to take care of here. Let's talk later. Is it just gonna be everyone who wants to talk later? Is that what this is? Are we in that part of the game where everyone's just like, yeah, come back later, Eugene. Hey Seattle, I'm not really in the mood to hang out right now. Heavy stuff going on, you know. I'll be fine before, yeah, but okay, so it's literally just like go to sleep. You can't read anything. Go to sleep. I should have read the description. You climb into the cotton and worm yourself under the sheets. You've been starched stiff as a board, but you've slept beneath worse. The lice and the bed bugs that plague your prison cell are mercifully absent, and the stale air is fresher than the rancid stink of the Redmond Barrens. The moment your head hits the pillow, your exhaustion sets in. You can barely keep your eyes open. Sleep washes over you like a warm bath, and everything goes black. What a cutscene. The dream is suffocating, the shifting tunnels of glass and steel, the towering silhouette of a dark majesty, the shadowy doorway, the teeth. They snap at your heels as you claw your way back to consciousness. You open your eyes, Duncan is looming over you, he's shaking your shoulders roughly. Yang! Come on, Yang, wake up. We got to talk to kindly, but others have already left. That was one rough night. He lets go of your shoulders, cocks a thumb out of the hatch. We gotta go. I've been trying to wake you for a while now. You've been thrashing around in your sleep. Thanks. Let's get going. We don't want to keep a mob boss waiting. My thinking too. I'm good to go. From the expression on his face, he doesn't look good to go. You look kind of raw. Wu shrugs. Didn't sleep well. Bad dreams. Me too. Guess so. I'm not surprised we both had nightmares though. He stretched his shoulders. Nothing gone right since we stepped foot in this country. Think about it. The statement from the cops on the newscast could be fake. Ours was. And the surveillance footage. We never saw Raymond got shot. The camera was hit by a stray gunfire. His passion intensifying but contained, focused. Raymond's alive, Yang. I know it. Yeah. You make a good case, Officer Wu. He smiles, his teeth are white and straight and perfect. Should have been a detective instead of a headbuster, right? His smile fades. God, I feel like I'm 12 again. Squatting on a stinking crawler. My parents gone, Raymond gone, hell, I'm gone. I don't have a name anymore, I can't even go to sleep and hide from it all without having a nightmare. His jaw tightens and his teeth grind so loudly you can hear it. What else is gonna be taken away from me? I'm gonna ask this first one because I'm like interested in it. You saw that piercing you got in Tacoma? Because that sounds interesting. I had to drop it. Hygiene issues. Wu struggles to smile. He fails. The hell did we fall into, Yang? I mean, what's coming next? I don't know, but whatever it is, we'll deal with it. We'll deal. He drops his hands to his hips and a couple deep breaths. That's right, that's right. It's like Ray always said. I like the last one. Life is improvisation. Life is improvisation. When the winds change, when the winds of change blow, some people build walls, other build windmills. Life is it. I like that the middle one. We're gonna go with the middle one. Life is improvisation. Yeah, he chuckles. Raymond liked to talk in bumper stickers. Wu shifts off for a moment and goes smile around his tusks. Then he heads a bit up and his smile fades. He draws a ragged breath. Whatever. He checks his watch. Goblin and Isabel's left for a while. We should get going too. We'll see what the triad lady has to say. We probably should get going. We also need to wait. How much new yen do we have? We have 1,000. Sadly, I do not think that is enough for what we need. Or even if the electronic shop is open. Give me electronics. Give me tech. I need it. Shops closed, get lost. Okay. I like how it's always raining. In the Kurt's Kabaz and the Barons, it wasn't raining as much. But I do like the evolution of the games, because you can see a clear evolution from the Roman Barons of the first game to the Kurt's Kabaz to this, oh god, there's someone being to death. Well, he's not to death. Kindly's place reeks of stale cigarette smoke and fresh urine. The clicking of the nine towers strangely absent, and it's a place of low murmur of laughter, and the air is eager of anticipation. All eyes are focused on the groaning, kneeling figure of the bloody and bound at the feet of Kindly Shang. She beckons him with a finger as he struggles towards her. The loud rustling of a plastic trap clacking under his feet as he moves. His pants are wet with fear. An acolyte, an associate torch lies on the table with Shang's right hand. Kindly Shang ignores the scene. She behaves as if it was all right in the world. How did you sleep, my little ones? I don't know how I want to answer this, because I don't like Shang. I don't like Shang, but also I don't want to make her mad because she could kill me. Also just referring to her as auntie. I'll go like fine thanks. What's the guy on the floor? I can't really read the tone. She indicates with a kneeling man to incline her nose. Shitbird here is a plainclothes cop. He snuck onto the area last night while you were sleeping, hoping to find you and kill you before his competitors got to you first. My men found him outside the crawler you were sleeping in, and they saw to you that the rest was undisturbed and that your location remained a mystery. She nods her head back towards a pillar of meat standing behind her. Wait, what? You can thank Mr. Bo for that. Oh yeah. I will not a strangler. Oh yeah, not. Bo inclines his head 1/4 of an inch. But she addresses the bloody man on his knees. Now, shitbird, tell my friends here what you told me. I don't know anything. I swear. We just got orders last night. He pushed his head towards you and Wu from the floor, struggling to keep his balance. Someone high up wants you two dead. The whole department is on it. I don't know anything else. Someone from higher up. The old. Oh, let me just itch my foot quick. Someone from high up. The old one lifts her foot and taps his chin with his toe. How high? The cop looks up, looks around at the room, filled with triad soldiers. One of them opens his coat and shows the cop something inside. He closes it and slowly blinks. The cop drops his head to his chest. All the way up. Someone on the council. Someone on the exclusive council wants these two dead. Shang spits out with a sneer. Fuck your ancestors to the 18th generation. Give me the truth. Yeah, that's a very specific generation. The cop wears the spittle. He never lifts his head. It's the truth, ma'am. I swear. Whoever it was labeled them as terrorists. We were to just terminate them with extreme prejudice. Kindly Shang shuffles closer to the kneeling cop, reaches down and strokes his head with her hand. Then she slowly digs her fingers into his scalp. She pulls hard back until his chin is pointed high. The triad boss leans closer, scratches and searches his eyes with her own. That's all he's got. She lets go of the head and smooths his buzz cut with her hair with her hand. For whatever reason, last night someone on the exclusive council of the Free Enterprise Zone ordered the Hong Kong police force to kill two nobodies from Seattle. I find that fascinating, don't you? Not really, corporations just ordered the cops to kill people. Yes, but why did they need to label us as international terrorists? Like, I find it fascinating. Like, even if you're just like, we were, nobodies. One of us was like Lone Star, and the other person, and we just got out of the black site, so it's not like, I don't know, it's just like, we're not exactly big on corporations' hit lists, if that all. My character may be, but we haven't done anything to get back on their list. Yes, but why did we need to be labelled as international terrorists? She strokes the policeman's cheek with the back of her hand. Her rusty voice becomes sweet as she explains the way of the world. Priority, my darlings. When the government has someone gunned down, they prefer to make it appear justified. People feel safer when their murderers feel like part of civilization. My, you've definitely fallen deep in the end of the pool. Seattle isn't Hong Kong. The megacorps control the government. Here, the corps are the government. The Executive Council is chosen by the Corporate Board of Governors. They're basically logistical and executive branches of Hong Kong's government in one tiny package. 8 people call the shot here, neat and efficient. Kindly Shang steps back from the cop and lights one of her thin black cigarettes. For the wage slaves and the civilized sheep, the corporations are the pantheon of gods who wield absolute power. She looks around the room, but not to us. Damn, that is some cyberpunk dialogue. Just like that, like cyberpunk generally as a genre likes drawing on symbolism of gods and monsters and demons with their like corporations, AI, and other sci-fi concepts. And like the thing in Shadowrun, all those are real. Also, all of those are also real, but this is some very good cyberpunk though. The triad woman takes a long pull of her cigar and taps her ash on her kneeling corpse head. What else do you know about my guests visiting Hioi shitbird? No one, man. I haven't called it in yet. I wanted to kill them for myself. No one knows they're here. I swear it. She turns to enforcer. Mr. Bao? Bao fiddles with his PDA with me hands. He's telling the truth. No outgoing calls out from his PDA. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Bell. She nods to the cop. Thank you for your honesty. Damn, they just shot him. In one smooth motion, Strangler Battle produces a silent pistol, fires it once at the policeman's head, and replaces it in his jacket. His face was never changed for expression. Looks like the trial. Yeah, what the hell? That was a cop. Like, yeah, true, but he's trying to kill us. I'm like, we're gonna kill plenty of cops. I just got a feeling like we'll try not to if it's a situation, but if we're Shadowrun, it's kind of a job description of like you're gonna end up murdering a few security guards along the way. It's bound to happen, but as it looks like the triads can be just as efficient. I'm probably gonna say. Shang takes a drag on drags on a cigarette. Yes, my darling. She balances the cigar on the shot glass and picks up some hung tiles and begins playing with absentees. It's clear our friend Raymond Black was up to something involving the walled city, something having to do with prosperity. And the Executive Council wanted Raymond dead for it. She stacks the tiles one by one, click clack. Now they want you dead for it, click. The plastic-faced man shows up on your door one day too. She knocks the pile over and he clatters to the table loudly. I have a proposal for you, my sweeties. A smile lights up her dead black eyes. Work for me. With Nightjar and Gunshot dead, I find myself with 2 job openings. Fill them. I need deniable assets here. Players unaffiliated with the triads who can take care of some of the more unsavory business needed in this town. You've proven yourself resourceful, and you have no existing connections here. You can be a positive in this line of work. Shadowrunners. Wu grunts. His jaw tightens, but he stays quiet. In exchange, I will keep you safe from pests like this one. She nods to her body on the floor, the pool of blood on the plastic wrap continuing to widen. You'll have a safe harbour here in my town and a steady source of income. She picks up a handful of tiles again. And while you dip your toes into water of corporate espionage, organised crime and clandestine mercenary action, I will employ my network to find the plastic-faced man and gather information about Raymond Black. Where he's been, who he's talked to, who stood to gain information from his death, and what this prosperity could be. You're putting a lot of effort into helping a pair of foreigners. Not foreigners, my sweetie. Valued business associates. I need to learn who killed my client and then ordered the cops to execute my team of Shadowrunners. Her voice drops and becomes deadly serious. This is a blazing disregard of my power. Face dictates it be confronted, or I stand to lose everything. I like where they use the word face here because, like, yeah, that's the thing is, it's very complicated when you get into like games set in Asia when they talk about honor, and it's more common just about saving face rather than like honor, but that's just like a limitation of language and like it doesn't translate well to concepts. As again, I don't know how much authority I can speak on this because I mean look at my model. I'm so pale, my chin fades into my neck. But that's how I'm aware of it. It's interesting. It's interesting, nevertheless. There's an liability in this business for Shadowrun. Dear God, we do that. How would this arrangement work? I find the right jobs for people with your talents. You do what your clients cannot themselves. I take a finder's fee and a small percentage of your earnings, and you make new in very quickly. It's very civilized. She leans in. Work with me. Allow me to help you make money. Let my network work for you and help you find what you've got yourself into. Without my help, you won't last a day out there. You are completely out of your depth, I'm afraid. And your partner, Kindly Sheng, will be your partner. You need a partner, and Kindly Sheng will be your partner. Hands go to his hip. His head drops and shakes a little in confusion. Go around my brain around this gang. Things are moving too fast. It take a lot of process. I'm just reading it. You have to see this coming, Duncan. Actually, no. Think about it, Duncan. This gives us the freedom to find out what happened to Ray. I know, I get that. I just gotta reconcile this whole... He grips the back of his neck, squeezes hard, rips his hand away. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I'm not a cop anymore. That guy's dead. He nods to his decision made. I'm in. What about you? Damn, we got like a lot. We got a lot of choices. I like the way it gives you, like, all these choices just say I'm in, but they give you different ways of saying it, which is very neat for, like, I don't... this is, like, a thing I don't know what not a lot of, like, role-playing games do. I get it if it's voiced, because, like, you know, extra lines, more dialogue, but, like, just have ways of expressing your character, I don't, without, like, changing the whole dialogue of the, like, scene is very useful, because I'm pretty sure this is a fairly illusionary choice. But I'm in it too. I don't have anything. I don't have anything back home anyway. He looks at you and gets a little chuckle. Yeah, you might as want to ask yourself why someday. I'm in, but this is only a temporary solution for me. Raymond is still alive, I'm sure of it. So I'll run with Shadows as long as Auntie Shang keeps her end of the bargain and helps us figure out what happened. Then I'm gonna find my father. Then it's done. He always open to you. She gestures to her lieutenants who raise a finger to their ear and whisper into her sleeve. First order of business. Hugin. You've already chosen a street name. Yes, Hugin. It means fox spirit. I thought it'd be fairly appropriate since fox spirits tend to be tricksters. There's other parts of them. Like an orb in their mouth. I think it's in their mouth, where they kiss someone and they can, like, remove, like, life force, I think. Or am I thinking of the Korean version having the life orb? Because they're all around there. There's different versions of them. I need to check. I would need to do more research into it. I'm pretty sure fox spirits even go to, like, India, because I find it, like, Daiji is a very famous fox spirit mythology. Very big. Very, very big mythology thing. And it says that she went to India, and I'm like, that sounds like a... I need to look more into that. It's fairly interesting. Daiji's a fairly interesting myth. They got it. They made it more waifu. But then again, Japan did that with fox spirits anyway, beforehand. But she turns to Wu. But Duncan Wu doesn't exist anymore. You'll need one too. Yeah, okay, I'll think of something. Wu sighs. Gilbert rubs her cheek against her rat to glint her eye. I think we already got it covered, Gunshow. He turns to Isabel. Fits, doesn't it? Indeed. I knew that was going to stick. It has stuck. Gilbert, Isabel, we'll handle this the same way we did with you. All your previous works. She didn't say Nitro. Huh. All your jobs I lined up for you will be sent to your computer in your squad boat, on the squad boat. She points towards you. Why me? It's a simple process of elimination. She points to the little decker. Isabel isn't the leader type. You got that right. She moves her finger over to the orc girl. And Gobber, let's say Gobber doesn't have a head of business. Not my thing. And then she points a finger at Wu. And then there's Gunshow. She wiggles it. The jury's out on Mr. Gunshow, meaning her response is direct, straightforward, meaning there's a lot that's going on in your head right now, and I'm not sure I can trust you. Gunshow will be fine, trust me. Kindly Shang eyes a contract with you and holds it. She keeps it steady for God. Sorry if you hear him. vehicles outside. I've got a window open. Makes eye contact with you and holds it. She keeps it for a steady long time. Wu doesn't notice. Don't worry, I'll be cool, yeah. I had this handle back in the Barrens, Hugin. Guess it's time to dust it off. Would my character have this? Maybe. Sure, we'll say we did. Wu shakes his head and eyebrows. It's gonna be weird calling you Hugin again. Haven't called you that since we were kids. Yeah, no, that is very, like... Actually, no, that makes sense. That does sound like something a child would pick for, like, run a name to a degree, because, like, they just, like, looked up, like, a book, or, like, on the digital stuff to see what it says. Oh, God, yeah. Gobert shows up. Gobert looks up from his bowl to you. I guess this is our new runner crew. The rat on her shoulder scurries to the top of her head for a better view. Welcome to the shadows, Hugin. Again, I am... Oh wait, we gotta level up. We gotta level up people. Alright, spiritualist. Spirits will never break away for the first 2 rounds you summon them. That's an interesting thing. We are both okay, we're gonna handle the decking thing, more than likely. Duncan fires a rifle that does 2 AP damage and imbalances target, making them easier to hit on subsequent attacks. This build he cannot do that. Do critical damage. 1 AP, 2 cooldown. Duncan gains an assault rifle capability, firing a single shot in standard rounds. Additional, okay, that's fairly good. We're probably gonna go down territory or damn, what the hell? We're probably gonna get spiritualist because I like that. Since we're probably gonna be handling the decking a lot, we're probably just gonna put augmented mini launcher. Knocking out AP is pretty good. That's pretty good. We basically got like lethal force route and crowd control. What's this called? Sabotage, espionage, spiritualist, territorial. Okay, firepower. I think doing AP damage right now is probably best because it is kind of useful. Fun. I never really use for fire damage, but doing AP damage tends to be crew advancement. We just did that. We played the game. Let's go buy. Can we buy now? Please let us be able to buy now. Laws, techno places. Overhead, a gigantic holosign shines like a screen light, screaming its message through the dim light. It hums and flickers, sputtering like an old engine. Fiercely electronic crackles and spontaneous bursts out of the sign's emitter, stabbing your eyes and filling your ears with static. Under the baleful glare of the sign, the rusty mini-band's deck is studded with electronics. Deployable stereos share space with crispy box servers. Ranks of discs and memory chips filled with cases, padlocks and under plexiglass. A short human in his late 20s stands in the middle, hands on his hips, talking loudly in the air. Bulky virtual reality goggles covers his eyes. A data jack cable runs from his temple down to his stained shirt to a belt load of clearly home-built computer hardware. No, I'm telling you, his voice is shrill shit. Nobody uses KM3s. Like, nobody. They're shit. Don't care what Deng says. It's sheer swear RP users. KMA free. They're stupid. Hey, flesh is rolled up. I gotta go. He turns to you. His goggle is blank and enigmatic, blinking with his tiny lights wrapped around with tear ducts as he points at his PDA. I ripped that PDA. You work for you kindly. His lips work impartial. So what do you want? You provide this PDA? Tell me about it. It was a Fuji Azura Star 3. They used shower chips. That was good, but the motherboard has wet noodles and sprouts. I pulled the trucks and installed an encryption. Now it runs on the Wapapo virtual network. The cops and cops can't crack it. Can't track it. Nice work. He shrugs dismissively. It's what we do. There's a lot of tech. This is Law's technological palace, satellite territory of Wampo. You set up on the boat. We're in sovereign state. I represent Wapapo here. I'm Maxim Law. He draws himself up proudly, setting his hands on his hips. The Maxim Law, yeah. Wow, we found a scene center. You got tech problems? Boom, solved it. You need software? Boom, done. But don't waste my time. I've got business in Wampo right now. If not, keep moving. Found this while poking around Lord City. Worth anything? He scans the chip with a handheld optic reader. Yo, this shit's banned. Lift it off some yellow Lotus. They traffic this stuff. Delimited sim chip. Full sensory experience. You looking for a buyer? Then it can happen. How's 120 new yen? That's whatever. Sure, take it home. Actually, nah. Sure, hope it finds a good home. There's not a lot of new yen, sadly. Let me see what you got. Wow, this AI stuff's gonna be expensive. Go with that. We need to go see if there's other drones as well. The road is useful. Do we have programs? Yeah, we have programs, but they are expensive. You know, might as well just buy as much as anything as we can. Suppression is useful. Confirm. Sadly, we didn't get new outfits. Gear. Confirm. Actually, no. Show me from here for tech. Sell items. Oh, we do have exploder, so. Exit. See you later. See ya, whatever. Let's go see if we can actually. Is the drone guy down here? Because there's a guy with drones here. So let's see if we can actually get drones down here. I want to get more programs because they're the expensive ones and they're the ones which are going to take money. Smooth Jazz drifts from the cheap. Oh, I want to talk to. Yeah, these guys often have a lot more dialogue, so I will probably jump back up and talk to them. Smooth Jazz drifts over the cheap side barge. A wider range of worn drones live between deck. Most of them are utility and domestic type. A few Condor or others are low-end security models. The salesman smiles indirectly at you, a tall, lanky human of Cantonese ancestry. He's wearing a cheap suit and limply chuckling a small cigar. He adjusts his tie and exaggerates his nonchalantness. I don't know what these words mean. Like an American casino. property. Hey there, beautiful. Welcome to our little flowing cabin. You got a discerning look at you. While you brings you to reliable Matthew's Robot Bazaar. He taps his shoulder over a buggy clean drone beside him, not wanting an answer. Perhaps you're looking for an hexacopter as a guide to Hong Kong, or a little handheld tarantula view to brew your tea. I'm interested in your combat models. Rabbi Matthew looks over his shoulder at your security drone. Some heavily cannibalized in the corner of the yard. He turns back to you with a nervous smile. Funny you should ask. I've got a Doberman that I'm selling at an incredible bargain price. Shall you take a look? Yes, let's look at security O's, all of them. Yeah, no, we don't have enough money for these guys. We got Doberman Mark 1, Robot. I don't know what level of, I don't know what level we're at. Smoker's like, okay, so 1,000. Okay, cool, that's for next year. These are the support drones there. Robo Med Doc is pretty useful. Doorman, a mobile pharmacy, some of drugs and guards. These are max, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Lone Star drone has equipped. Lone Star drone hover that has been given close range upgrades. A Lone Star drone has been. There's a lot of drones. Eventually, we'll be. Have you seriously been calling me beautiful? Let's ask this. You know it, beautiful. I don't mean to offend. I just can't help it. To me, everyone's beautiful, baby. Okay then. What did I say? Carnival bag is such a great word. Incredible bargains. They fall off the back of a truck. Are you implying that they're stolen? If you are, you're mistaken. He smiles intriguingly, as if you've been saying something in an alien language. Merchandise is proven only to be trustworthy suppliers who certify authenticity and workability of their goods. I don't furnish manufacturing certifications, but all of them provided are real top shelf guys, real beautiful people. Otherwise, I don't carry their drones. I think I understand the situation. Fantastic. I like to make sure all my customers are thoroughly informed and feel completely comfortable with their purchase. Goodbye. Okay, we'll go back to talk to the tech guy quickly. And then we'll get going on a run, probably. We'll go back. And then start a run. More than likely. I wish I could get a new drone. Not that my drone's bad, it's just we need to, like... Let me actually look if there is that drone skill in this game. Intelligence. How did I miss that we didn't have pistols, but we had, like, this? Oh, damn. Drone control 5. We're like B class drones, yeah. Able to equip A class drones. We're nowhere close to C class drones. We got the deck of our thing because Renroku. Yeah, we got the Renroku pen. Did we get Renroku? Yeah, we got the Renroku. We got one of like our level, and that is a. I wish it could be easier to see what like level item we have. What level of drone we have. But there used to be a power. Ah, yeah. Okay, cool. We got it. Drone control 2. We can equip 2 drones. But the problem is with equipment, we've only got 2 gear slots, so we gotta have this in it. I don't know how we get 3rd gear slot. I think that may be a strength thing. No, there's no like strength thing. Come on. +1 essence. But we could get 2 drones. We can get 2 drones now if we wanted. That would be neat, but like right now our drone is fine. Let's talk to this guy. That's an amazingly ostentatious hollow sign you've got. Yo, Maxim Law looks up at the gigantic blue and letters with deep sand fountain. It's pretty boss. Yeah, it's pretty boss. Damn right. He gives you a verbal nod. You're a lady who appreciates the good stuff. I like that. Half of Hawaii gets juice from the pirate tap on a Masanasi DC cable under the river. But assumes like his voice winds up in a mocking line. Oh, let's run 2 million volts from the cold fusion plant off the island under a river. Those slum monkeys can't tap an underwater cable, idiots. You know who built that tap and ran electricity off the cable? Wampo. You know whose bargains hold off the transformer? Mine. Maxim Lord thrusts his fist high in the air in silent victory. Sorry, just closed the window there. Silent victory. Cheap power for all, and the whole lot extra for me. Behold, the lighthouse of Boom. Why are you wearing VR goggles? It's not VR, it's augmented reality. We're pioneers in it. Little cameras, matrix overlay. I can support 3-dimensional HUD and subwaves live over multiple feeds. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, we got decking 3, yeah. We got decking 4, I think is what I will start over. I've got a common shill open right now. I'm now working with 5 guys. Lord taps his goggles. Wave of the future. Augmented reality, huh? I had a lot about corps are expensing with that. It's not, but not in such socially inductive ways. Yeah, just Future, Ruko, and a couple others. Always designed dismissively. Some of us took a look at what they're doing. Their whole approach is flawed. They won't get anywhere. Sounds like you're on it. We are. He says with supercons a statement of perfect back. Boom. I was gonna say that's basically what companies are doing there. Like the whole metaverse. Like yeah, they don't understand why augmented reality or virtual reality is good. Like we've already got VR chat, guys. You're not gonna reinvent that wheel. Law says it was supreme confidence, a statement of perfect fact. Boom. Looks like you got some dangerous exposed wires over there. Oh yeah, you mean what? Oh, why are you? My mother? Lord guards you as terrible decides. Those wires are fine where they are, high and dry. But the very problem are for someone who does something, someone does something stupid. I'm running a high bandwidth tech operation. Do I look like I have time to tape copper and slip tea? No, I don't. Law racks his knuckles fiercely on the clear top case full of bruises, cables, and cable harnesses. They're the only wires I need to be doing anything about. Okay, let's get electrical tape, guy. Let's cover them with electrical tape. Okay, let's go back to base. I want enough new yen for a new drone. It's gonna be really expensive. We should like focus on getting things like summons, I think, for now. Oh wait, we can talk to this guy. It's impressively hot down here. The air is full of static odors that grab your sinuses and refuse to let go. You can smell engine grease and melted plastic, ionized air, and lead soldiers. A quick scan of the room tells you why. The downstairs tenant and convert this space into a machine shop. Fabrication tools and plaster extrusions lines the wall. A pair of heavy industrial manipulators hang from the ceiling. A man in a young trench coat a black trench coat stands in the back of you, staring at a monitor mounted on a sturdy workbench. He addresses you out of turning. I was wondering when I'd be the new neighbor. His voice is pleasant, cultured. There's a hint of Russian accent in there, but it's buried under layers of nuance. Please stay where you are. I'll be with you just a moment. And under you fancy an unpleasant trip to the Chrome Alley, don't touch anything. There's all manner of tools here that could take your hand clean off. Thanks for warning. Don't mention it. I have no interest in seeing anyone hurt in my shop, especially not my upstairs neighbors. Examine the robotic arms mounted on the ceiling. You focus on the enormous manipulated arms that you saw earlier. They're bulky industrial things, dented from years of heavy use. Each arm has been fitted with at least a dozen different welders, solder guns, and extrusions, and metal fabrication tools. You've seen machinery like this in factories before, but they look terribly out of place in bolt holes, cramped engine room. Very good, yes. They're coming along nicely. Very good indeed. He turns towards you, smiling. For the first time you see his face. He's broadly handsome Slavic features and chiseled jaw. His eyes freckles of ice. So sorry to keep you waiting, miss. Hugh Jin, it's no problem, don't worry about it. You're too kind, now tell me, what can I do? His voice trails off for a moment before he catches his eye. Scuttling along at alarming speeds, a sinister-looking drone out from under work table. Its movements are surprisingly agile and fluid. The machine rears back menacingly and spreads its forelegs in a clear sign of aggression. The man tilts his head. His tone goes apologetic. Please, don't mind the drone. He can be territorial, but as long as you remain civil, he don't bite. He extends a hand. Simultaneously, the drone relaxes into a neutral position, lowering its killing legs. Ratchet, the mechanical counterpart here, is called Kyoshi. Weapon 5 refuses to shake his hand. A pleasure. He shakes his hand roughly, abnormally warm to the touch. He shakes his hand with a solid grip. I'm pleased to meet you, my friend. In a community such as Hioi, it's important to be on good terms with our neighbors. Agreed. Speaking of which, I'd like to ask you some questions if you have the time. He glances at the brace on his forearm. The technical display winks to life, then glitters out. Very well. The morning casting should still be calling for a few minutes. Get the time is enough to talk. You got some interesting machines in here, not the kind that you typically see outside of corporate settings. He smiles. The same could be said for many in Huey. I'm sure this is a smuggler's den. Our entire economy is based on people having things they shouldn't. Is there anything particular device that is interesting out of your curiosity? I'm interested in that drone you have there, to be fair. Oh, Kyoshi? But my friend, you are wrong. You will never find anything like this in a corporate factory lab. He is my own creation. From the top of his sensor clusters to the tip of his claws, I designed him, fabricated his components, and built him by hand. Whoops, he shrugs. So that anyone else can follow his passion and power for his craft. Okay. What do you mean by morning casting? What do you mean? Exactly what I said. Casting that I made new locomotive assemblies for Kyoshi. He gestures to a display working on the work table. A biometrical design, as you can see. This one is inspired by the walking legs of a dicapod crustacean, a mangova crab, to be specific. Fascinating. And will his new legs assemble and make the drone more efficient? That remains to be seen, but more there's to life than combat efficiency, is there not? By fabricating new components for Kyoshi, I unlock options, different ways of being. Even the failures, and there have been many, have value in that context. How did you learn to do all of this? More training and experience than I care to mention. He offers you a weary smile. Drone architecture was one of my professions, you see. Now it's more of a calling. One that I am free to pursue, now that I am freed myself from the shackles of corporate servitude. Kyoshi is an interesting name for a drone. Damn, we don't have academics. Yes, I suppose it is. Not many riggers would name their prized possession after a villain of a fairy tale. A nod to my heritage, I suppose. I'm pronouncing it wrong. I know what this is. Out of character. This is like referring to like... Oh, what is it? I'm pretty sure like an undead, like, lich type thing? Wizard, warlock? What's a fairy tale about? A roughly unpresent. Yeah, no. I need to... Koshie. It's like Russian. I'm not going to be able to pronounce it. Slavic, obviously. A very unpleasant person. Kyoshi the Deathless. Yeah, Kyoshi. I'm pronouncing it wrong. The Deathless. He was called, and for good reason. He was called for good reason. His soul was clearly hidden outside of his body, and he could not be killed as long as it remained intact. Kyoshi was a villain, nurse, kidnapper of women, but something about him always stuck with me. I suppose it was a notorious immortality through cleverness that resonates. There was something to learn from that, I was sure. And so when it came to name my beloved creation, his was the first name that came to mind. And your drone is deathless, like his namesake? In a manner of speaking, I suppose he is. I have redundant copies of every piece of his architecture, and core programming is stored in a disk in a secret location. Should he ever suffer critical damage, I could easily bring him back. I had a plan once, to automate the self-repair process. I must confess, it was quite ingenious, but alas my research was lost. One day, I will reclaim it, but Kyoshi will become as deathless as the stories claim, but it will not be today. You said you were working for a let's say, you said you were, yeah. Are you Russian? I thought I could call a hint of accent on there. He nods. You have a good ear. It's impressive. Yes, I grew up in Nizhny Novgorod. Went to school there. Started my career with the industrial sector. A fairly common story, I'm sure. But I also travelled a great deal. So I've absorbed a number of other languages in my dialect. I wonder what Cantonese spoken with a Russian accent sounds like. Because we're all speaking Cantonese at this point. The game I'd like to switch over. You've been doing a good job of dropping your original accent. Are you trying to... If you were born and raised in Russia, what brings you to Hong Kong now? The same thing that attracts many to the free enterprise zone, opportunity. You see yourself are recently transplant, are you not? Your Cantonese is heavily accented style of many UCA expats. That isn't a criticism, mind you. It's just a statement of fact. Yeah... I grew up in the streets of Ren and Barons every day. Every day out of this place is a good... Every day out of that place is a good one. Yeah, my condolences. I've heard of the Barons and the gangs that rule the streets there. I'm afraid our own old city might not be... might have you beat in the terms of gang activity and overcrowded, but there isn't a competition. Both environments are deplorable, especially for the stomping grounds of young children. You said you were on a corp. Whose payroll you were on? He sighs. This is something of a sore subject. My departure was involuntary, you see. I did not part with them with my employer under the best of terms. I can tell you I worked for Genshin Gershi Avokal, but you'll forgive me if I don't want to go into detail. Keep all this machinery on, it can't be cheap. How do you afford it? Freelance. At risk of sounding immodest, I have commoditized myself rather well. There are always corporations in design of consultants. You'd be surprised how many lucrative work can be. There's always other work that you can do in a pinch. Other work other than consulting? Care to tell me what kind? He pauses for something and flashes his eyes. Koshi lowers his body into a crouch. Rather personal questions when you say. Maybe, but we're having a personal conversation. Indeed we are. But even in personal conversations, certain topics are held off limits. Truth be told, I don't feel especially comfortable discussing my side of work with relative strangers. So I like to say that my freelance activities often fall on the illicit sides of the spectrum. I tell you what, I'm gonna guess you're a Shadowrun, aren't you? We're a Shadow. I dislike the term, yes, but I run shadows. What gave you away? Your drone, people on the pop-up stone build murder drones for fun. Nothing in particular, I just got the feeling. Design consultants live in our apartments in Victoria. I wish I could say you're living in the same boat as other Shadowrunners. That'd be interesting, because that's the thing. Design consultants. You live in an apartment in Victoria Harbour. Design consultants live in apartments in Victoria Harbour. You're living in a rusted out boat in Hioi. You gotta be a reason for that. He shrugs. You are correct, of course. Residents of the shadow communities are usually either too poor to live anywhere else or engage in behaviours too holistic to risk it, which is wrong. You can live in real rich areas if you're good enough, because you'll have a lot of money. I'll admit of being in the latter camp. Design robotics is my passion, but doesn't always pay the bills. He runs a hand over Kyoshi's armored chalice, carefully crafting sculpted metal. My status as a foreigner has proven something of an important regard, and so I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, as I may say it. The lion's share of my income comes from Kyoshi's aptitude to butchery. Life is such as life, I suppose. What we do, we do what we do. We do what we must to do what we love. Seems like everyone on this boat runs in the shadows. Why not pool our resources together and work together? Pauses his lips, considering. A compelling offer, but I'm doing quite well on my own, and I must admit there's a certain job of which I'm unsuited. Magic eludes me, and I'm not a decker. My strengths come from material objects in the real world, solid things that mess and half things up that I can build and operate. Sadly, a great distance of my clients interested in terms of display of mastery over the intangible. This group of yours, do you have people who can cover those bases? If so, perhaps we can help each other out. Yes, we have a shaman and decker, both competent at their jobs. In that case, I'll accept your offer in provisional bias. I will do well. We'll do a few runs together, see how you can get on. If our associate bears fruit, we'll continue. If not, I'll bid my farewell and back to working alone. How does it sound? Welcome aboard. Very well. Excellent. When you receive a job, you know where to find me. My skills and resources are at your disposal. And with that, I'm afraid I must bid you a good day. I still have a lot of work down here. This leg assembly won't clean itself. I'll be in touch. Look forward to working with you. And with you. Did not expect that is how we get our decker. Rigger. Yeah, hang on. We got Predator and we got Mangler. Damn, I don't want to increase accuracy. Okay, so we can build into melee or okay, we can build into melee or the like shooting. I think we'll go with shooting. I mean, our drones are gonna do the same thing, but like, you know, we can't have too many drones on the field because that just gives you more things. We're building our shaman for summoning for a reason. Something in here? Yeah, no, that's how we get our rigger, dear God. Did not expect that. Okay, let's go to missions. Your workstation, computer, the cool blown types of workstation made me for the screen. We got check new messages. Kylie Jane to Hyujin, Kylie Shang to Hyujin, welcome to Huey. Hyujin, on behalf of our friends of the Huey Chamber of Commerce and Swiftwind's Mahon Parlor, welcome to your community of Huey and to our business venture. I have already lined up jobs for you, the details of each which contain separate computer messages. Remember to check your messages often as I will update you on opportunities as that will occur. Your mission computer. Isabel, Hughie, mission computer. Hey Hyujin, I've set up your mission computer to automatically collect data from news reports, information, and media that might be interested to you. Some keywords I've been trolling for is Raymond, Duncan, Woodsey, etc. I've also patched a permanent network to Hong Kong's shard of Shadowrun BBS. It's a great place to contact with other runners, sell pay data, get news on the streets and what's going on. Don't be shy, take a look. Resources. Bo, Jujun, Hyujin, resources. I've been instructed to inform you that various suppliers present in Hioi. Anti-chain cultivates commerce district to well-stocked and trustworthy vendors. Whoever you choose to do business with, you'll be in good hands. Emily Kingfeya Club AA is a resource for additional weapons, should you acquire any. If you need in place of magical supplies, go to the pile of 5 phases. That's a really cool name. I'm very weak. If you didn't hear me like freak out on the last stream about like, oh feng shui, hell yeah, 5 phases, pretty cool. Again, I'm not super knowledgeable about any of these in deep like actual scholarly laws. I can't read any languages from like China, like any first person sources of these, which is, I understand that is needed. That is like one of the major things that you want to get for like resourcing any like belief system to like or mythology is first person is like primary sources, which is very difficult to get, and it's always better to read them in their home language because hey, there are nuances that is lost in localization. Then again, like it's not always bad. Like, I'm not going to criticize anyone for reading a more loose localization of Journey to the West, because hey, Journey to the West, everyone can I think Journey to West is one of the best introductions because it is fairly fun, fairly lighthearted. You can generally get what you want out of most situations with it. It can be localized in a better way, like in a good way. Is what I'm saying. For all age groups. If you're training to Path of Adept, seek Spider Shang. She can help you supply you with close quarters weapons as you might desire. Chrome Ally can dispose of you cybernetics, augmentations, medical supplies. Priority 10 arm Amboris is a cyber surgeon of some repute. Lord Technopalace Wampon runs a supply of local decking community. This place is hard to miss. Just look for the glowing sign. If you're into drones, reliable Matthew Robotic Bazaar is the best option, and I pay you. Best of luck with your shadows. As fresh meat, you are likely gonna need it. Serial killer. Kindly Shang, hello, serial killer. I've got a problem, Eugene. You're going to help me solve it. I do a lot of business with Wampus. If you're not familiar with the term, I'll forgive you there. You are an outsider after all. The Wampus are a tribe of techno-fascists and deckers who've taken representation in the Wampum Garden area of Hong Kong. They make and trade high-tech goods and to people from all over the world. A lot of New Yen passes through pesky little fingers, and a lot of money broking deals between them and the smugglers of Hai Yui. I've run into her snag. The Wampu elders, their council leaders have been eliminated by a serial killer. They've asked me to dispatch someone to get to the bottom of this killings, and they're not taking their goods through my turf until I do. So you're gonna be my proxy, dear. I don't care how you do it. I need those murders stopped. The Wampu over there act in Hawaii by the law, and speak with him if you wish to know about Wampu. He's got a big mouth, but he knows very little of importance. Don't expect much from the half-empty bowl of vinegar. Get your ass down to Wampu Garden and talk to the elders. Lie, cheat, and steal if you have to, as long as you convince them that there won't be any more murders. I want my back cut, and I want it soon. Okay, take a run. Carney Shang, Hu Shang, Zero. Good. I'll tell elders you're coming. If you don't like outsiders, you might shoot. They don't like outsiders. They might shoot you at a spot. If you don't want them, that you'll be arriving. Okay. Back to route. Check messages. Forward. Artificial liberation. Carney Shang. Artifact liberation. Welcome to the Shadowrun. I've received a request for an archaeologist named Dr. Drake. He's been interested in liberating a certain artifacts from beneath the manor house of Taipo. I've attached a copy of the video message that he sent me. Mr. Drake was seen first for a moment, and the email was replaced with the face of a stern-looking orc. Hello, Madam Shang. I've heard that you're a woman who knows how to get things done, especially in regarding those that aren't legal in the strictest sense. That's exactly the kind of help I'm looking for. Recently, a rich investor named Hoi Yao has decided to expand his manor's house of minor house on the outskirts of Taipo. Too much money. Yeah, sorry, my brain just kind of my train of thought while reading just snagged and just kind of flipped a bit. I'm really sorry about this. Let me just. Let me just focus on. Well, let me get my head back into it. Sorry about that. Recently, a rich investor by the name of Loy Hua decided to manhouse Taipo. Too much money, not enough to spare for fancy parties. He had a snag with the local government officials. However, they suspect this land is a estate was built on may have been a pre-modern archaeological artifact buried beneath it, all of them dating to the Song dynasty. Consequently, I was handed by an archaeologist to oversee the excavation, ensuring the was properly recorded and catalogued. Sure enough, we were only a few days into the excavation when we discovered a series of tombs lying beneath the site. The scope of the tombs was far beyond anything Liu could have expected. Several areas of catacombs or at least untouched relics. For what's more, they were certainly older than the Song dynasty. They may even be from the previous cycle of magic. Oh, Earthdawn stuff, hell yeah! Before I could make my report to the Free Fighting authorities, however, Liu called in his allies at the Tang Ti Incorporation. Liu sold the entire site to Tang Ti. How you pronounce that? Tang. Who lessened back to him Because of Tantai's considerable to extraterritorials in Hong Kong, local authorities were powerless to stop Liu from looting the tombs. He immediately began building a museum, if you call it, atop the site. He's called this museum the Empire's Tomb. Can you believe that? The odds of it being an actual empire buried there was basically nil, but he doesn't care. He can sell a few tickets. Liu continues excavation using Tantai contractors to expand the digging. What he doesn't know is that I bugged the comlink before he fired me. Based on what I've heard, something strange is going on the lower level. His workers have been disappearing, only found dead several days later. Whatever's down there is too dangerous to be left in Liu's hands. Liu must have found a deadline tap though. I stopped receiving an information 3 days ago, and the last thing I heard from him were a pair of ancient tax workers had discovered. Then it being issuing an order for further excavation should be halted until the secure the subterranean area. I'm betting those texts are what is the cause of why it's killing the workers. I have quite a bit of experience with these kinds of dangerous excavations, but an operation of this scale is beyond me. I need a team that's tough enough to get in and survive, unafraid of making a mess, who can get out with books and whatever they can else carry. Beyond the two texts, I'm willing to pay all for artifacts that your team can liberate. The more valuable, the better. Don't worry that they'll be going to a natural museum, not some rich playboy's mansion. I've got a second program in place that will suppress Liu's security system. The team will be careful though. There are so many alarms I can suppress. There's only so many alarms I can suppress. Go beyond the numbers, they'll scrub the mansion. I've included a catalogue of likely arguments to help the team approach the most valuable ones. Hey there, Dagoff. How are you? You don't need to be subtle. In fact, I'd prefer to make it as much look like a common robbery. There'll be a smash and grab as you can. I'm doing good. Just in the thing, going through a dialogue. We don't have enough money for a new drone, which is sadly, but we did recruit the other rigger. My poor drone. My drone's going to be outclassed. Tell them to smash and grab what they can. Let me know what you find in a solid group of Shadowrunners. Rector, the guy downstairs. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his name. You'll find a suitable group of Shadowrunners. Yeah, you have a nice simple robbery. Do you think you can handle something like that? Let me know. We'll take a run. We take every run given to us. Then decide if it's morally bankrupt while on the job. Exactly. I've attached directions to Liu's estate. Good luck. Don't fuck it up. Okay, thank you, Shang. I am Nash. Back to Root. That's all the messages, right? Oh, we got one. I don't think we did like the first job last time with Bo. We haven't done any real jobs yet. We just got to the computer. Yeah, we're that early. Subject: geometric sabotage. Geomancy is a big business for the Free Enterprise Zone. Here in Hong Kong, feng shui isn't just an act of rearranging your kitchen to make it look pretty. The fortune of empires rise and fall with ebb and flow of ki, and sometimes that flow needs a helping hand. Oh God, I know how you're meant to pronounce this word. My brain's just halted on it. I can't remember how you're meant to pronounce it. Wu Inc.'s incorporation and perimeter practice of full large-scale key manipulation here in the Free Enterprise Zone, because that's an actual word linked to the 5 elements in feng shui. I'm aware of that. I can't remember how you pronounce it, but they've gone to do great lengths to channel ki from all over Hong Kong into their headquarters, an enormous monastery that they call the Wuing Sky Tower. There is focused and transformed into a good fortune there, and the building's geometric attunement architecture and editorial design. Our client believes that there is time for Wuing's good luck to run out. You are to infiltrate the Sky Tower, disrupt the flow of ki throughout the building, but you are to do it in a distinct fashion. First, you must discern the feng shui of officers. To do so, solely alter the arrangement of the level. This will consist of minor adjustments of desks, spilled water, and other small activities that are likely to be noticed. Yeah, I was like, wait a second. The major one of that is we could change the positions of where doors come into, but that's like, we're not a construction team. Ordinarily, even subtle disturbance of this nature would be noticed. This is why the client wishes you to make a much larger distraction on the rooftop gardens. The garden is ransacked, utterly destroyed, set on fire, uprooted trees, that kind of thing. Our client would be so specific that he would likely you to destroy the large Buddhist statue in the garden. Smash that thing to bits and you'll scatter them across the rooftop. The level of destruction will keep Wu Xing's geomancers busy long enough that the more subtle solutions will likely take into effect. In addition, it will send the kind of message our client would like Wu Xing to hear. I have utmost faith in your cause of destruction. The more disruption you cause on both levels of the skyscraper, the happier our client would be. As you are not a spellcaster yourself, it would be wise to bring Gobbit along with you. She'll be able to sense the most effective ways to disrupt the key. Take the run. Good, contact me when Joe's finished and you get your card, go back. Open job directory. View all pending jobs. Back to root. Okay, so we took all the jobs that we needed. Access for Shadowrun BBS. We don't have any payday, I don't think. Oh, no. Search BBS for key networks. Okay, missing connections. You, rappelling down from the side of an unarmored luxury hotel in a ball gown on a Monday night. Me, admiring the view from the 18th floor of the urinals during a private serenade of an unnamed corporation that I will be infiltrating. What the hell? Our eyes meet briefly before dropping out of sight. Your long dark hair had come loose from your chagrin. Qigong, framing beautiful flushed face I'll never forget. You were carrying a duffel bag bulging with stolen prototype weapons. Well, I flinched the intel that goes with it. Can we connect? Man, what the hell? Sorry for speaking like that. This guy is like, hey, random Shadowrunner, please love me. Very funny, Bad Jack. I'm sorry the job went sideways. I got trapped and I only had one way out, Red Queen. We were supposed to have each other's backs. Just wait until you hear the way out that I had to take. We gotta lay low for now. And why are we posting about this in public messaging board? Oh my god. Terrorists in Hong Kong. Been hearing some buzz about some mainlander terrorists showing up in Victoria Harbour and a shootout at the HKPF another day. Anyone else hear anything on that? Ming Pao said they were 4 of them that got away. 1 elf, 2 orcs and a dwarf. Oh yeah, we are an elf, aren't we? A troll, an elf and a human were killed on the scene. Word is they were members of a White Star out of Hyana. Just before I heard like the XP noise, I was like, wait, what? Coming to start trouble against the Secretive Council. Looks like there's a 50,000 New Yen reward for information leading to their capture. The KFP seem pretty nervous about letting these bastards walk freely amongst the streets. You think they actually pay out if someone like us? Not a chance. You'd walk in to claim reward, then get thrown into a cell hole with them. The HKFP doesn't keep promises to the sinless. Freedom Cowboy. Is that another... Sorry, that just sounds like a reference to, like, Shadowrun Storytime. I feel to look it up if there is, like, a legit reference by the developers or not. It'd be pretty cool if it is. Couldn't hurt to try. Why do you have to be such a downer? Because I know the police. They're all dirty. They're only in it to protect their paychecks, and they don't give a damn about anybody else. Believe me, I'm just going out for best interests. Like you and your triad looking out for my brother. He's still paying for his reconstructive surgery, you bastard. If a man wants to keep his teeth, he should pay with his own rather than pulling a gun on me. Simple as that. Let me actually look it up quickly. Shadowrun, Hong Kong, Shadowrun Storytime. Don't know if I'm going to actually get anything for this. But yeah, Storytime is great. It is a 4chan thing, so, you know, content warning, but it is a great story. 2D is a technomancer to aspire to be. Fred Poetry Slam. Oh, great. Ladies and gentlemen, poets and Shadowrunners, welcome to our first annual Shadowland Poetry Slam. There are no rules and there are no prizes except bragging rights. And further ado, let's vivisify the beginnings. How long do you think we can keep this going before trolls show up and Stardom shuts us down? Why would they shut us down? It's a free board. We can be poetic if we want to. Just trust me, it happens. For some reason, things like this always draw the worst sort of attention. Are you gonna give us a poem, or are you gonna stand around complaining about why you can't? Alright, here goes one. Just wait for it. Synth muscle smartlings, neuroboost cyberlens, all full for grenades. I have poetry experience, like, you know, a degree in writing poetry, but I've never done slam poetry, and I know there's a different rules, but I don't like that poet. Musing on transcendence of life and shadow is very nice, sir. When the long nights of shadow, also this is just really difficult because of like the 3 dots. Like, is this the line break or is it one line? I'm assuming this is the line break. I don't know why I'm like criticizing the poems of fictional characters, but here we are. The long shadows fall on Hong Kong. Neon lights pierce the coming night. Night. Tread with me the velvet blackness. Let no no lamp shine on our deeds. I mean, it needs work. It's rough. Like, that one's entitled Our Hour. Okay, what can you title, man? Seriously, that's not a great title. This might be the most pompous one I've ever read. Let's try this out for our size. Lasers are red, shadows are black. With mad on the street, you'd be watching your back. Fair enough. A solid one. I'm questioning whether I actually put one of those into like. No, I don't think I ever did that on my course because we had like a limit. Minimum. My poem wasn't pompous, you're uncultured rube. It's a homage to Wang Wei, the famous Tang Dynasty poet of Zhejiang form poetry. It's traditional. I actually wanted to research this now. Oh no. Unlike the ridiculous limerick that you posted. It's not even a limerick, I don't think. Now, I don't think it would take the word slam quite so literally. Hey, you people know the rules. Poetry slams have been out of bands in the BBS since the Laughing Man debacle of 5.5. If you want to sling your fancy words, do it on your own direct form. I'm shutting this thread down. What the hell happened in 5.5? Told you. What happened in 5.5, Shadowboards? Oh god. So I've got a courier job next week that supposedly takes me into Old City. I'm from Karalupa. I've never been to Hong Kong, but I heard that place is dangerous to salads. I don't think I should know. You know nothing. You've got nothing to worry about. It's just a low-cost housing development full of hard-working people. Here, take a look at this news report. A short trailer clip plays. The sunny Shang of the Horizon News. On today's Sunny Side Up, the Kowloon walled city, a blight on the free enterprise zone, or low-costing housing for that company can do latitude. We'll introduce you to some of the hard-working residents and how they live, and how they're contributing to the growth of the prosperity of our city. A montage even begins showing the disillusioned and poor of the walled city going about their daily lives. Shots have been carefully chosen, showing only smiling and productive residents, a stark contrast to your own experience inside it. Many residents of Hong Kong regard the walled city as a place of no return. To outsiders, it's the last stop on the long road of homelessness. Rumours abound of the feral ghouls, unsafe living conditions, and triad extortion. Oh god, that's feral ghouls. We went there and the reality was far different. We were shocked. What we saw will shock you. Citizens of Hong Kong, working and living just like the rest of us. Their apartments are smaller, their shops more modest. Their people who live there wouldn't be out at a place outside anywhere else in the FEZ. Citizens like shoemaker Chow Soon. The scene cuts into an elderly man in a closet-side star filled with shoemaking equipment. He smiles broadly at the camera. Oh, I love it here. You have community, you know? We're like family. Maybe we don't have a nice view as the Repulse, babe, I can't imagine living anywhere else. It's no paradise, but it's my home and I grew up here. How could I possibly leave? The camera shifts back to Shani Yang now stands in front of the entrances towards sea. Contrary to popular belief, Ward Sea serves as a vital function. The poor and downtrodden find a home in Ward Sea, economy where they have a voice, can work, even prosper. Far from the eyesore that the video suddenly cuts freeze and it ends. Okay, I've decided to cover the rest of the crap. She keeps going about a good place Ward Sea is and how you all need it. Don't buy any of it. It may not be hell, but you can see it from there. Freedom Cowboys just trying to get you in trouble. So how do you know the real story? Because I grew up there, you know what it's like, really like? It's like eating old broth made from rat bones because there's nothing else. It's watching your neighbors sell their 5-year-old son to organ loaders so they don't starve to death. God damn, Isabel's going off on the things. Like it, Isabel. Good going. When you die in Old City, I just noticed it's Isabel. That's great. Welcome to Old City. I'm just like, oh hell yeah, Isabel. You gotta encourage your teammates when this happens. You die in Old City, your neighbors cheer because you'll get the clothes off your back. You wouldn't wish Old City on your enemy. Go back. Okay, go back. Job directory. Yeah, no. Okay, that's all of that. Okay, we got some runs. We got. Wait, don't we have like one where you got like? I swear we had one where. Open job directory. View all active jobs. Oh, serial killer. Yeah, it's called serial killer. Walk away. I think we'll do the serial killer one because it sounds interesting. First, I'm very interested in these more magical ones, but the serial killer one sounds interesting. So I think we'll go do that. Don't know how long this one's gonna be, so I don't know if I'm gonna have to like weirdly save it. Should we go talk to sellers? You know, actually, let's go talk to the medic guy quickly because we're gonna need medicine, but. Because we don't have a robot or heal. Well, yeah, sadly. Anyway, all our money are going to be going to programs. You again, I told you to fuck off. Kindly will vouch for me. Yeah, you just idle your engine there for a minute, I'll check it out. Alongside with Oliver and Nicholas. The door gives several hugs, metallic clinks into the door and mumble, and the heavy bolts slide back and the green light flashes on the terminal. The door appears to be unlocked. You can enter the clinic. Time to go see what... we can't actually get anything yet because we are dirt poor and we're going to need to spend money on upgrading our drone. The clinic looks at you as if you're just hosting a party. Spindly spinally mechanical arms swirl around the unroasted wall mounts, pulling down crepe paper ribbons and scooping food platters off empty beer bottles into the biohazard garbage. The severely crippled Caucasian man sits in a wheelchair amidst the maelstrom of robotic mess. He's in his 40s, thick beard, tusk-sticking earrings, beer belly, one side eye, both his legs are missing. On top of the hip and the other knee, he has only one arm and only 3 fingers on his surviving hand. His face and arms show scars of reconstructive surgery. He grins broadly and he regarding you with bloodshot eyes, clearly hungover. Hey, I'm Ambrosia, he shouts carefully in English, his words pilling together in a loose Middle Eastern accent. You can call me 10 Arms. Welcome to Kong, fellow UCAS. Good old a CAS student. And he chuckles, his chest shaking with a midriff. A Waldo arm springs from life and swings over him. Its mechanical metal piercing monitor set a cigar between his lips, just long enough for him to inhale it. Kindly say you're alright. What can I do for you? You're a doctor? Sure, I am. A rigger doctor. A rockter. What the hell? Oh my god. Ambrosia bursts into laughter and stops clutching his head. Oh man, I can't laugh hard today. Too much partying last night. It hurts. I'm not a board certified, but don't worry, I should be. I'm fully skilled. My work for Yellow Low is guaranteed and precisely in accordance with World Medical Association standards. Everybody in here comes to me because I'm the only option, and boy do chuckles in delight. Very well, Roctor. Right on, let's get to your tracked out unless you just want to bullshit, which I'm down for too. The front door could stop a bulldozer. Why so fortified? Are you kidding me? Have you any idea how much all the stuff here is worth? A high capital operation, and life's dangerous for a guy missing most of his members, tooling up for smugglers and criminals. Let me tell you what, though, someone busts in here, they're gonna be in a world of hurt. Ambrosia chuckles evilly. There's a lot more than just the pipes and wires in the false ceiling. I've got Kindly's crew and Club AEA boys on a panic button. They know which side their beard is chromed on. What? You think you're trying to knock me over? He laughs raucously, but it's clear he's not kidding. What do you do here? What do I do? Tune-ups, engineer rebuilds on your ass. I do it all. First aid, second aid, surgery, cybernetics, obscures, euthanasia. I'm one-stop shop for healthy and beauty. Well, maybe not beauty. Can you install me in some combat wear? You know it. You got a coin and essence. I'll trick you out like a bulldozer with ground effects and a turret. I've got it all. Wide reflexes, deck wear, biofills, substance bones, lacings, grease bearings, ground effects, tight bolts. A full range of criminality services is something you're likely to keep beneath HQ's radar. What sort of medical service do you offer? Oh, nothing you'd be interested in. Right now, I'm mostly doing engine mechanic stuff, electronic stuff. I send maximum reliable and most of the stuff I can handle. It's really just a hobby and service for a community. I make my nut with the clinic. He looks fondly over a massive, partially assembled V8 engine occupying operation theater. That baby's gonna be a goddess when I'm done with her. Let's talk about something else. Let's see your services. Cyberware. We're just gonna look at cyberware because we are out of money. Whoop. A symbol to give +1 to throw weapons, +1 to dodge, cyber weapon, Ares hands, spur. That's not too bad. Oh, okay, that requires. Oh, we need cyberware affinity now. What a life! What a life! That's pretty good. Eye data jack. Wait, what? Hang on. Let me get out of this because I want to check something. See you, Ambrosia. See you, Hanjin. Talk to you later. Oh, no. Cool. I just went into a corner. Yes, body, cyberware efficient. Okay, so you need, like, cyberware stuff now to, like, get cyberware. Interesting. +1 and you get essence back for that. That's pretty cool, actually. Are we going into that? No, because we're already, like... The electronic fumes room has been built on a medical clinic and machine shop. There is a life of rumble and furnaces and the hum of cooling fans is sweltering. The area around is more of a homey coffee shop than a clinic lobby. Comfortable furniture, use digipads, colouring books. Wall upstairs boiler. Yeah, no, we're just gonna look away. We're gonna get going on a run. We spent half a stream talking to people, so let's actually get on to a run. Which probably will be more talking to people, but you know. Weapon garden. Yeah, the Wampo garden. Who discovered who's killing Wampo others. Let's do that one. Additional run is available. Yeah, we played this game before. Who are we taking? And we have no money. So we're gonna take Gobbet, Duncan, Mage, Combat. Who has more medkits? Who do we take? How do you get cool... How do you get free combat slots? Come on, no, I don't want that. You guys will get cool combat slots. I've only got 2. Hang on, skills. Let me look at these guys, because I'm like... What's giving you that? Wow, I'm just a better rigger and decker than both these guys. But I guess we'll take the decker with us, because it's like... I can handle the decking a bit more. And we can have more people. I mean, for right now, we're going to probably be swapping Isabel and, I'm not... stat-wise. Okay, stat-wise. He has a better drone than... Actually, he probably does have a better drone than me. Can I check it? Can I check his drone? No, I can't check his drone. Yeah, no, I'm guessing that drone is just way better than mine. Because I don't have money for a new one, so I'm still rocking around with Star one. Lampo Garden is a carnival of chrome and neon, rife with every manner of technological and artificial one can imagine. The entire area has a night market, has a feel of a night market. Save for the chips are sold in Lue and steam buns, and vendors hawk the latest drones rather than Fogart. Something stalks these streets, hiding out of sight. It stalks the Wampu elders, the leaders of the band of tech-savvy squatters that have claimed the neighborhood as their own. The streets smell of ozone and fear. Those of Wampones you pass in the MRT station have haunted future looks in their eyes. When the killer has struck only the elders thus far, it may only be a matter of time before the ordinary residents are menaced as well. Okay, so we gotta stop a serial killer. Yeah, we got our deck and we got our drone. We don't really have more gear that we have, so yeah, we don't really have much more gear that we have, so that's good. Okay, oh, look at the two. I love the drone designs in this game. Look at both of them. The streets of Wampo Garden are slick with rain, glaring under the neon glow of the myriad signs and holographic displays. The sky reflects the same glow, painted white apartment blocks and slight orange of sodium streetlights. The smell of glittering meat mangles with the other rare scents: ozone, engine oil, and high-tech fabrication facilities. Despite that, there are plenty of people out about. You can hear the cell calls of the street vendors, touts urging people into their stores. Goblet stretches her hands out and turns in circles. Welcome to a wonderful land of Wampire. Wampire, don't know how you pronounce that fully. Seriously, was with the... That's why they call it a boat. Mail, whatever. What the hell did someone build a mall shaped like a boat? Well, that's one hell of a unique gimmick. Say what you want about it. It's at least you'll never forget it. It's got something that's got to count for something, right? When the economy tanked after the crash of 29, the techno-fascist tribes started squatting in it. They've been there ever since. No use standing around here in the rain, then. Come on, let's go see what the elders have to say. Is it actually a boat, or am I just going crazy? So, I mean, we're meant to go in here, but let's have a little look around. The elders must not want anyone to go inside, but their permission, their permission must be pretty bad in there. Okay, so it's down there. I heard they're all dead. Okay, so let's have a little look around here first. Because usually you can find like some neat stuff if I've played these games enough times. You better find something indoors to sleep, Jan. The streets are dangerous lately. This is a very cool area. Okay, so nothing around here. Okay, so nothing real big around here. Let's get going inside. The mission needs someone to work. Needs some work to get the best result. Fair enough. I mean, we'll try every result that we can get. We'll try the best we can do with our stats and skills. Obviously, I'm not gonna look up what you need to do, so I might miss something. But if you want to tell me, like, if I'm near it and I'm seeming to miss stuff, go ahead. The orc woman fastens festoons with the small circuits, tiny trid screens and speakers. The trid screens display snippets of the trid broadcast from every corner of the world. The tiny speakers play counterpoints with a Syrian voice speaking Symphonal, Puji, Kazaka, and other language. Symphonal is the Spirifonal, I think, is like the Elven language, isn't it? Her expression is haggard. She fidgets with her fingers as you approach. Welcome to Wampar, my friend. I am Elder Ning? Yeah, Ning. These are Elders Tang and... I know, I've heard how you meant to actually pronounce Ip before, but I can't remember, and Ip isn't correct. Ning gestures half to our elf and human friend, each inclined their head respectively. Thank you so much for answering the request that we have for help. We have nowhere else to turn. It's the least I could do. Under Tang's skin, glowing tattoos wither and change shape. The tiger becomes a crane and move on to dragons. That is really cool. We're under threat. One by one, we elders are being hunted. Won't spoil too much, but your team members can be found in you. But your last team action... Oh, that's cool. That is cool. We'll have a look around for them. One by one, we elders have been hunted by some monster. As you've noticed, when we arrived, there had been another killing just tonight. It crosses his polychrome arms, holographic readouts, dance across the surface display of his diagnosis information about their state, operation table, servo pressure, and various other miniatures. He has been bearing of someone who couldn't handle himself in a flight. I'm certain you have some questions. Ask away. We'll do our best to tell you what we know. What can you tell me about the murders? They started 2 weeks ago. The first one was Gan. We found him in his apartment, eviscerated. Ling swallows, grimacing at the painful memories. He had been torn apart. His head had been ripped completely off, and most of his skin flayed away. There was so much blood, it took us weeks to clean out of his apartment. Tang nodded, running his palms across his forehead. The rest have been the same, always at night, always dismembered. Each seen a lizard nightmare, and every time nobody sees anything, it's like a ghost. What happened to Dong? Same thing that happened to the rest of the victims, eviscerated and dismembered. We sent a guard to keep people out of his shop, but he'll let you in. When did he die? Sometime earlier tonight. He locked up his shop, but Hip stopped by and asked him for some skill chips he had. The door was unlocked, and inside, Ning lifts her hand helplessly and opens her mouth, but no words comes out. Seeing Ning's inability to come up, Hip takes over. Inside looked like a bad horror sim, just like all the other murders. It had happened after sundown, because I saw his shop was open when I was on the way to get some noodles after dinner. Why didn't you call the police? The Hong Kong... Why would we ask that? We're being hunted by the police. Sorry. It's like, why would we ask that? We know the police are corrupt as hell. I mean... Yeah, corrupt as hell. Would fit within the phrase of Shadowrun. The Hong Kong police isn't welcome here. They've tried to force us out several times. I'm just like, why would we ask that? Like, I mean, asking why would they get us involved other than the police is fair, but asking why you haven't, maybe? I don't know. The Hong Kong police force isn't welcome here. They've tried to force us out several times before, or coming to hunt us for someone to pin a crime on. They've done a lot of favor. Yeah, at least we know that. We've done a lot of favors for the local and triads, handling the matrix security, fixing all the gear, and making sure they have access to the Hong Kong Shadow Labs hub. We're too valuable of a resource for them to let loose, so they protect us when their HKPF or anyone else decides that we're an easy target to handle. They handle our physical security, and we make sure to send a message via the Matrix. The last time HKPF made trouble, we started airing the assistant chief's dirty laundry over Trick. They got the picture and backed off. Have you made any enemies lately? Ning shrugs, helplessly. Not that I can think of. We keep to ourselves, we buy and sell technology. We are not mercenaries or criminals, but we're merchants and deckers. And even if someone here was cheated in a deal, this kind of response is unthinkable. Whatever did this isn't human. The violence and savagery, it's a monster, whatever it is. Plenty of metahumans are monsters too, not Ning. Just because it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. I'm just gonna ignore that you called metahumans monster. Like, plenty of metahumans are monsters. I'm like, how are you taking that? Are you saying like metahumans are monstrous, or like metahumans can? He is an elf. Yeah, true. I'm just like, wait. What do the Vampire Elders do? We invoke of the spirits, cures of the spirit machines, ask for the blessings and pass those blessings on to the people here. What year is this taking place in? Because I can't remember if technomancers are a thing. To be fair, they could be otakus, which I'm aware are pro-technomancers, but... And pass those blessings on to the people here. I heal the sick and ensure the feng shui of the inhabitants is as good as it can be given our confiance. Tang extends his arms, palms out as much as the tattoos their thin shifts into complex mathematical formula. I am the first in glorious servo. I study patterns. Yeah, I do. I do like it. It's very cool. Like, the first and glorious servo is great. That's a great thing. Might actually... That is a name for a, alchemical and exalted, to be fair. I can't think of which cast of alchemical would have the name the first and glorious servo. I mean, Lori Calcum... Yeah, no, it's just, if you haven't heard Glorious Servo, if you haven't heard of Exalted, it's another tabletop game by White Wolf. It's inspired by Asian mythology and a lot of anime. But it has a setting, it has like an alternate setting which is part of lore, avoiding all complex lore. There's a setting where it's taking place on the god of machines, as like people live on him, and the alchemicals are like built, like are instead of being like chosen by gods to be great heroes, are like people's souls put into the mechanicals' bodies to protect the civilians of the machine god. And they have like, and like in Exalted it's fairly common to get names like the First and Glorious Battle Master or something like that. My current Exalted character, which I'm thinking of changing the name of because of what their shorts do, is Victorious and Blazing Lion. Stuff like that is very common. So I'm like, what since alchemicals are mechanical, I'm like, what would they have? Though they are the homebrew errata we use depowered them, but the reason alchemicals are strong is they're like, they unlike the others, they can quickly change out their skill set. So you can go from like punching the void, the corruption of the void, which threatens your civilization, to quickly slotting out different charms to be able to do like immense social to avoid a war with another city. Unlike the others, who are just tend to be good at one thing, like Solar's only good at one thing. Luna's tend to be more broad and can adapt to situations but can't swap out charms and can shapeshift into monsters, into anything that they eat the blood of. Dragon-blooded are foot soldiers, but they have elemental powers of like 5 elements, and Sidereals are fate ninjas and are annoying and have weirdly stupid powers. I study patterns and repair machinery and teach others how to attune. Like, I like Sidereals like larceny charms, because it's based like all of the powers aside for the Lunas are based on like the skills. Like you have obviously you have melee and your melee charms, but their lasting powers are, instead of being about like stealing good, it's about stealing people's names and identities. And skills. Like, you can run up to, like, a great swordsman, steal their skills, and take their ability to be able to be a good swordsman. The Blessed Autofab is my shop, and preview there is... they make drones for IVs to use and sell. Really, that's fascinating, and a spiritual spin on things. Rector inclines his head towards Tang. I'd be interested in hearing more about your philosophy once we're done with the job. I think I may find your perspective very interesting. As for me, I'm the resplendent voltage. Like, yeah, no, these are just... I'm gonna steal these for, like, or alchemical these. That's definitely an Orichalcomon, because you have lightning as powers. It smiles crookedly. That means I shoot people who try and screw with us. It's a fancy title for head of security. That's all for now. It might be asking residents of Emperor Garden if they've heard or seen anything after we've gone to Tang's security carnival. After you've gone to the Tong security carnival, they may have heard something that we have not. Good to know. He obviously would talk to like the people, and each like type of Exalted has like different casts and what they do and different abilities. It's a very fun game. Like, it's a very fun game, but like the problem with it is one, combat can take a while. It's a especially I say take a while. If you have someone who's a good Dawn cast, who's the combat cast for the Solars, which the combat's gonna go very quickly because they are blenders. They can kill stuff. They were solely designed to kill literal eldritch abominations, and they're just as good at it. They're just as good as it was back in the first age. But they're very powerful because of that. But the big issue is you can... It's not uncommon if you get higher up in like levels to roll over like 100 dice for a hit. Like the highest I've got to is like 50 dice. My current character, if I pull out all the stops, can do... actually no. Just with one charm, which is the abilities in that game, I do 19 plus 2. I do like 40 damage. 40 dice of damage. For sending d20s and Shadowrun. I can do, yeah. Exoid gets up there. It's because like you can like enhance all your skills and then use charms to like double your pools. Okay, we can't talk to anyone yet. I mean, they did say after, to be fair, so... It is fun. It is very fun. Again, when I talk about it, I'm mainly talking about 2nd edition, because that's what I play. Because I think I think Exalted is really cool, because they have a willing... Because it's not, like, so popular. Like, changing lore would cause a bunch of stuff. But... They have like drastic changes every edition to laws and rules, which I think is cool. I think that's cool. Like it gets like each era of each edition of Exalted has a different feel because of that. But I play 2nd edition, and it's why I'm more familiar with lore-wise as well. So 30 changed lore. I haven't played it, so I'm not going to personally comment on what they changed was good or bad because I haven't played it. So. Anyway, Paul Lamb at your service. Felders told me you'd be coming. They tell you what happened to Tong? He got killed earlier tonight, yeah? Killed, huh? That's rich. Killed is the BTL head stick a knife in you for your cred stick, or the cops put 2 in your chest for not kissing up and having hard enough. This is something else entirely. This isn't killed, this is slaughter, just like a flattered calf. Watch yourself, it's a goddamn mess on there. Alright, let's go see how gruesome this is. There's a giant pool of blood. 10th Century Carnival looks like a scene out of a B-grade slasher slim. The cloying scent of incense hangs in there. Ah, we did good bringing Gobbet. Good to know. I'm generally gonna bring Gobbet, like I brought Duncan everywhere, just cause like, hey, magic's useful. The cloying scent of incense hangs in the air, purgent in the air, emanating from the small shrine in the corner of the shop. Unfortunately, it does not cover up the reek of death and clotted blood. Despite the ragged remnants of Elder Tongue littering the floor, the rest of the shop appears to be doing good. At least at first glance. Nothing's broken, tipped over, or otherwise ransacked. As you begin to take a step further in the room, you glance around at the ceiling walls. From the blood from Tong's body isn't just confined to where he remains. Drying blood is separated about from walls and ceilings as well. Okay, so we can go out and go like some explore. Also, just quick thing about Exalted, since I said it, while it is a fantasy setting, it's also a fully rich Magitech setting. There's mechs and stuff. But what's hilarious is like mechs and power armor. What's the funny thing is, while mechs are powerful, you can beat a mech as an Exalted without like too much issue. You have to be somewhat higher level, and you can eventually get charms where you can wield a mech's weapon without penalties, just as a person. Tong's body here is a ruined mess, the destroyed ruins of his face barely recognizable. What's left of his body would be best described as savaged. All his limbs have been torn off, and a pile of flayed skin lies next to him as remains of remnants of a shampoo ender. Why do I get... I don't know who the murderer is, but I feel it's a drone. I don't know why suddenly feel like it's a savage drone gone rogue. A pile of flayed skin lies next to him, and remnants of been torn apart, or some sort of creature, like not human, not meta-human either, just not human. Maybe being controlled by someone, possibly. That would explain why no one's seen it. Because if it's a small drone, it can get through like separate areas, and if it's a spiritual creature, it can just if it's a spiritual creature, then it can just appear rather than walk through physically. Because I doubt there's many mages in the area to see into the astral. Just my gut feeling. It feels like a creature or something else being bit by someone else. And a pile of flayed skin lies next to the remnants of Wampel Elder. Wampel's clothes have been reduced to rags, and tissue cuts and tears apparently sustained the damage during the flay. At this point, the only thing holding what's left of his body into semblance of a human form is the thin hair, tin fiber optics of his cyberware. Goblet puts her hands over her mouth, speaking in an uncharacteristic tone. Sweet heaven, Hyujin. I haven't seen anything like this since Auntie Wong tried to stash some cred sticks in a devil's rat nest. It takes a lot to turn my stomach, but we sure have a winner today. This is seriously messed up. We can go bigger. Wait, we can get both. Wow, damn, we took the right people for this job. Damn, that's an accident. Dear God, hey. I'll second that. This isn't yeah, Ransom Mega. Oh yeah. I'll second that. This isn't a murder. This is more like, I don't know, a feeding frenzy. If it wasn't for the skin, I'd say Tong stepped on a goddamn mine or something. Okay, have Gobbet assess the body. You got that, boss. You got that, boss. Man, this is gonna be unpleasant. Gobbet closes her eyes and takes a deep breath. After a moment, she opens them again and makes a strange gargling noise. I hope we can still do both. There's no fear here, Hyujin, no anger either, just kind of a satisfied feeling. Tong never saw it coming, but whoever did it was a professional about it, which is pretty odd because nobody's professional about eviscerating a body as far as I know. You think that's you mean the murder wasn't some kind? You think this was a hit? I don't know why the killer was after Tong, but it definitely wasn't a mindless creature or someone particularly passionate. It was somebody who's planned this and executed and was glad about it. I don't know. It feels like it was just business as usual. Okay, I have Rector examine the body. Rector takes his PDA and examines the body, taking small notes on his PDA. Yeah. Curious, no subdermal bruising where the skin has been removed. No sign of struggle, coagulation of the blood, and liver marks. Time of death between 2 or 4 hours ago. The knife marks are methodical. The killer didn't seem to have interest in preserving the skin as any kind of whole. It was removed like a bit like one of those fillets of fish, the path of least resistance. Some of the strips of skin have ragged edges other than others. Ragged edges are consistent with a claw rather than a blade. So yeah, it does seem to be like some sort of creature doing this rather than like a meta-human. Then again, so much for your feeling, yeah. Like, I don't know what caused it, but they said Rector makes the curious nose as he examines the remnants of Tog's face mark. His neck, yeah, no, I did say a natural creature, but maybe I don't know. We'll figure it out. His neck has been severed with 5th and 6th clavicle vertebrae. Score across bones indicate a bladed weapon and a sharp one. Okay, so they have weapons, but they also have something similar to claws. Like, I don't have big ideas. I'm just like, maybe this doesn't match any of the other wounds. Register stands up and looks you directly in the eye. So it has weapons. So someone else had to do it. But there's also something with claws. If I had to take it a guess, I'd say he was killed. He was killing blow by a weapon neck. Everything else is subsequent damage. You think the tag was meant to subdue him? Honestly, I have no idea. Perhaps whatever he did for the rest of the damage is secondary. An action of opportunity like this. Without further information, I'm not comfortable guessing. Okay, so leave the body alone. Okay, let's look around more. The walls are covered in splatters and smears of blood, most of which has hardened into a crusty congealed paste. Thick tracks of it run down, and it looks like the blood has been deliberately smeared. Hey, Hugh Jim, I don't know a whole lot about science of all, but I know blood looks like when it hits a wall. This isn't natural. Someone deliberately smeared the blood all over walls. See how it looks like it's got painted trails? That's because someone used Tog's parts like a brush. So someone painted his walls with blood. Why? Do I look like a psychologist to you? Maybe because they're a freak. Maybe they're the ones who sick serial killers that see murders as an art. I got no clue. All I got is normal blood looks like on walls, and that isn't it. Hey, you think that stranger you all see kind of... Hey, you think that's strange? You all see the kind of sims that are coming out of car these days. They look like poly POV text and then collapse all the carriages signals into one POV. You're like 4 people at once, and the underground gigs go blank jobs. You know where they kill one of the POVs, sick stuff. Okay, thanks, Gobert. Wait, what is our current objective? Search for a serial killer. Okay, damn. Pre-broad objective there. Dex save. Simonson. Oh, maybe we shouldn't have sold that Simonson earlier. Okay, yeah. This is a 1915 V sim system, a device for maxing and mastering Sims chips. Several drive bays and empty of all chip jacks are empty. The screen is flashing repeatedly a message. Request files cannot be found. Please return to the drive. Debug this system. Banging your way into a system seeking forward, you manage to suspend the drive error warning for a time. Digging into its guts of machine's recent files, you manage to kick into a diagnosis mode where it's not as good as having access to a full system. Maybe you can learn something this way. Yamasim 5.3 system diagnosis check, memory okay, drive error, list but okay. You begin the core dump, please wait. The long debug scrolls across the sim screen is filled with numbers indicating recent files, pay length, keyframes, assist, peak level. Based on the numbers you're seeing, Tong sensors have been hacked to remove the peak control levels of the chips. He's burning required operative to make BTL chips. The delta wave outputs of these chips push them dangerously into brain burning territory. Okay, that's maybe okay. Current theory. Current theory. Current theory on what it is. The current guy doing this is a hitman. My current idea is they're a mage because of it doesn't take a huge mage, just summon a spirit which could do that kind of damage, and they could be holding a blade or something equally like that. There's ways for a mage to get around unseen if they wish, and since this is a very tech-heavy area, there's very few people who could possibly pick up on the astral signals. Yeah, a lot of them are like techno-fetishists, but just worshipping technology does not give you the ability to see into the astral. The current guy is a hitman, to some degree, who's being paid by someone who had their like brain burnt out or like fell down like a rabbit hole of BTL addiction around here, and the client is currently blaming the leaders of this community for what happened to their like possible friend, sibling. Yeah, true, that's true. Never mind, yeah, no, Goblet would have, because you can see astral signatures, yeah. Be able to, the Delta Wave output for these chips pushed them dangerously into brain-burning territory. Am I still kind of on like a Hitman theory? Maybe, but I'm trying to think what could do claw damage and hold a sword. Thank you. Good. The file catalog. I'm trying to think of how can someone get around unnoticed and like magic in this area, but Goblet could see magic. The file catalog of the high peak BTL indicates all the files and burnt chips could be stored on the missing data drives and in the empty chip jacks. Somebody cleared out Trog's BTL stash. Okay, so maybe drug dealers? I don't know, maybe BTL dealers? Trog's desk drawers are open and the safe that built into the side. There's no sign of tampering. The green light next to the world unlocked is blinking. Have opened the safe due to a key fob. Inside are several credit sticks but no sign of the money taking them. Looks like someone's looted his stash. A guy this would only keep an empty cred stick. It wouldn't keep an empty cred stick in the safe. Okay, so let's check out the mirror. Tog's bathroom is immaculate and killer and drains are tiny. Whatever killed him didn't do exit through here. Okay. That's everything in here. So let's have a look around outside. Okay, so we've got people to talk to. Let's talk to this guy outside right first, Paul Lamb. Hey there, need anything? What do you do around here, Paul? It's a casual category, I guess. I work for Elder. It's a bit like being deputy. I make sure people don't break rules, protect people who need to be protected. Mostly, I do whatever he asks, whatever it asks me to. It's a pretty quiet job. Today's not one of those days. I handle a lot of maintenance. I don't actually do repairs, but I've got most of the keys. It makes it easy to ensure I only authorize people get into sensitive places. Electric goes down, I let electricians who fix the wiring. Toilet's clogged, I let in the drone guy who opens it back up. It looks like someone went through Trog's things. Has anyone else been inside? Not since I've been here, but before I found him, could have been anyone really. It had a key to his place, but the looks totally crap. No, but anybody at half decent and cracking Meglock could have gone inside. What's missing? His BTLs, hard drives, and cred sticks are all missing. Sounds like the killer looted his place to me. All this talk about monsters. Yeah, sure, there's some scary things that go bump in the night, but most dangerous and scary things I hear are handguns and gangers. See you later. Not much help, but we know that his place wasn't secure, so that's something. Zippy, let's talk to this guy since he's next up. Vork is busy snacking a steam one as you approach. He wipes one off his face and sticks it towards you. Hey stranger, see you around. Zippy Torlak at your service. How are you taken to Wampo Garden? I'm Kyojin. Nice to meet you, Zippy. Nice to meet you too. Listen, it's a little forward for me to say hello and whatnot, but I'm interested in giving you a hand if I can. Zippy gestures to the explored squalor, neon-lit streets of Wampo Garden. This is my home, at least for the time being, and I'd like to stop the killings. We've never met before, but I know exactly who you are. You're my replacement. The elders have had me autopsy what's left of Elder Gang and Nekan. God, I can pronounce the name. Nakamura. Yeah, Nakamura. God, I was just like unlocking my unlock my thing of watching anime. I can pronounce that. Nakamura after they ripped apart, but I didn't dig any deeper. I was like, yeah, no, I know how to pronounce that one. I recognize that. So since I don't know who you are, and I can smell Shadowrunners for a mile, you've got to be the outsiders they've been asked to start the killings, right? Zippy tilts his head back, obviously pleased with the amateur introduction. Very astute. That's right. See, you have good eyes. I've got good eyes. A lot of good eyes. Eventually, if you're in the market for a replacement, only a slightly used, and one's off some certified donors, I swear. A hard belly laugh comes out of the orc and slaps one of his thighs to an elevation. Man, I killed myself. Pretty funny. You stand-up comedian? What jokes like that? Are you kidding me? I'm one of the trained surgeons around here. I want to keep Ampu's healthy. Gotta practice down the road. Blind Shang's is a pretty good cyber dog, but he's basically an amputee specialist, and that's it. How'd you end up here? I did my residence back in the UCAS. I could have become a real MD too, if things hadn't gone south for unrelated reasons. Zippy opens a coat and reveals a cyber deck. He pats it proudly. I also deck a little, but I'm slightly slicking skin in by sea. Wilbur Garden seems a good fit for me. You must have a lot of customers. That's the chip truth. I have changed to get my cover. Myself a bit. I've changed to my cover, my costs, but it's damn near free service. There's always a waiting list, but it's a good, honest work. I like helping my neighbours and community, or we look out for each other. Somebody messes with one of us, they mess with all of us. The kind of community is rare as gold these days. How many places have the ethos like that? Not the damn corpse, that's for sure. I've lived a lot of places, done my fair share of Shadowrunning, but this place is my special, and it's a real long time. Been a real long time. I feel like anywhere was a real home. Zippy look off past you towards Rama's Garden Street. His expression grows wistful, like he's remembering something from long ago. I'm sure I'll move again, but not for a while. I'm not done here to see all these people. So it's fairly peaceful around here. God, why did I pick requests for a lot of reading? Got my throat is already feeling a bit dry, but we'll make it through. For the most part, other than these killings, we don't have much of a way of problems. We do have information security for the triads, and that makes us fairly impervious to anyone who wants to start trouble. Anyone who starts something, we'll hit them with the Matrix, while our triad friends hit them with the meat space. So some small-time gangers have tried to push in here before, but backed off when they figured out that we aren't going to pick up a fight with Tang. When we weren't just picking a fight with Tang and his guys, but with both Red Giants and Yellow Lotus. They got a message real quick and they was left out there. I want to ask you something about gardens. What are your thoughts on the murders? There's a sharp intake and a breath as Zippy shakes his head. Pretty gruesome business. Scan died by a broken neck. Looks like someone had wrenched it around with his arms and legs were cut off. Some skin flayed away too. Namka. God, why is my brain so suddenly forgot how to pronounce it? Namaruka. Yeah, I pronounced that wrong. Nakamura. Yeah, whatever. Had his throat ripped out by someone. Had a partial sharp teeth. At first I thought it was a devil rat, but those teeth marks were just something from a humanoid jaw. I don't like it. God. Crazy orc? No. Like, it's ritualistic to a point where I think it's on the magic side of the world, but it's also like saying it's impersonal to a point, and I'm like, is this my brain jumps now to is it someone with HVHMMV? Yeah, it's HVHMMV. Yeah. No, it's HHMVV. Yeah, human vampire virus. Is it someone with that? I mean, that makes sense, but that would be like which strain of it? Like, I'm assuming like maybe the orc strain where it's like werewolfism or something, like where it turns you into a beast. But that's fairly noticeable. Especially essence drain, that's fairly noticeable. And also these guys don't have much essence if they're all like decked up and stuff. I don't know. I didn't look at you. From what I seen, from what I saw from much distance, the same story. I didn't see much of a point since I'd seen it twice already. As for Tong, from what Pia told me, it was Gang and Namaka all over again. Yeah, that's the point. People tend to notice that all over again. You take a look at him, yeah, it seems it's the same as you described with others. One of my theories is this guy because he's overly cheerful, but yeah, let's not go on. Then he shakes his head. Damn, let's believe in people a little bit. Damn, I like Tong. The BTL business is unsavory, but the man had to eat, and his regular sims were great. Generally, all a nice guy, friendly with everyone. Never had anyone mad at him. There are no justice, let me tell you. Can you tell me about the elders? Well, they're an eclectic bunch for sure. Where to start? Nang's a spiritualist leader. She's a voice of Wampu, I guess. A lot of close friends are pretty much friends and really more followers since she's something of a priest for machine spirit. Maybe it's a cultural thing for people who grew up here, but it's never cool to me. Still, it's a mix of damn fun poverty. Imps are muscle, he's an encryptic knowledgeist of cyber and Bioware. He's a good guy, but I haven't to have watch your back. Not too friendly, but you know how it is. You get a lot of cyber, people start wondering if you'll tear their arms off. As if he makes a chopping gesture with one hand. He's got moves straight from bloody Carnival 3, The Reckoning. The terrible movie, a great fight choreography. What about Tang? I don't know much about him, but I think he's got some kind of fetish or automation. Found him queuing over several triads of automatic delivery drones in a warehouse once. He works with drones. He has a shop called the Blessed Toy Fab. He works with reveling about other efficiency of moments, patterns, and stuff. You already know about Tong, Rand Sims, BTLs, skill chips. Gang used to be a C planner before he got nervous breakdown and got involved in the statistics analyst. As if he pauses collecting sports. Namaraka's from Fukaka was interested in entertainment. Trid mostly spent a lot of times analyzing subliminal and ads. Then there was Magpie. She was the chief decker, hot as hell against IC, and built her own hardware. Salty old woman, though. Never met anyone who was quite as shrill or nasty as she was mad. She was mad most of the time. Tell me about her. Could this be a ghost? Like what? Not much to tell. Ziggy shrugs unconsciously. Maybe a month ago she just up and disappeared. Went to a shop one day and she just wasn't open. Nobody'd seen her since. Why would she disappear? No idea. One day she was here, next day, poof. At first I thought she was just on vacation since she had mentioned wanting to go to the Kingdom of Hawaii someday, but it didn't feel right. She should have at least told... Wait, Kingdom of Hawaii. I didn't realize, Hawaii had gained its independence in Shadowrun. You know, that's pretty cool, actually. Anyway, but it didn't feel right. She would have had at least told me to leave. It seems pretty suspicious to me. Nobody else seemed to care what happened to her, probably because she pissed off them so badly. Is there any place... a little odd she just disappeared, don't you think? Of course it's odd. She owed me a lunch too. She was the sort of thing who paid her debts promptly. You might want to check her shop. It's all locked up, and the other elders have a spare key. Couldn't hurt to look around. Eventually, even though Magpie was always buying heads with other elders, they would have a reason not to let you in. What do you mean they were buying heads? Magpie and the others never saw eye to eye. She was contrary to the sake of most of it. Most of the rest had a grand vision for what they wanted to do in the neighborhood to become. Magpie just wanted to deck. She was only an elder because she was someone with the matrix chop, with her matrix chops. The last big argument was between her, Nig, MP, and Namakura. It was over something relatively trivial. I think Namakura wanted to expand the pirate trade business into a matrix and she absolutely refused. Why would she refuse? She said she was something about not making vulnerable like something about not using up valuable bandwidth with trivial entertainment bullshit. Anyway, it went from there and ran about how she wasn't going to let Tank expand his drone business any further because it wouldn't get too much. It would get Megacorp attention too much. They accused her of blocking them just because she could, which she probably true. Lots of screaming. What do you mean blocking them? Everybody needs matrix skills in their business to run properly. There are other deckers, me, Say, or Majeb, but she had the infrastructure. If the product didn't interest her, she wouldn't even give it the time of day. She was a real hardhead about having her time wasted, but she figured if she's not interested in something, it was not worth value objectively. A kind of major blind spot, if you ask me. Sam, could you let me into her shop? No, could do. Something, not because I don't want to, but because I don't have the key. You could get it from up, but he's taken over the Matrix and full structure since Magpie disappeared. He's not good as she is or was or as I am, but they're not going to let anyone else who isn't able to take care of that critical stuff. It looks like Tong was killed by a blade, not a broken neck. Zippy recalls shuddering against rain. What kind of blade? Was it a knife, a sword, maybe an axe? I don't know, but he was attacked he was attacked out of the back by that. He was attacked out of the back of his neck. I don't like that at all. Zippy shivers, looking wildly around. The whole stuff got me on edge. People dying and nothing new, but flayed skin, ugh. After a moment, Zippy quiets himself and looks back at you. It sounds possibly those who's been killing the elders have been trying to muddy the waters, all of the blood and gore business. This is a crime of an intellectual, careful killer. Be careful investigating. It might take you somewhere unpleasant. See you later, Zippy. Okay, so we got a lot of information out of that one, and we probably do want to go get the key. Hey, can you tell me about Elder Magpie? One person snorts and shrugs his shoulders. She was a bitch. I've never met anyone as deliberately contrarian as her. There's not much to say. Nobody wanted to hang out with Magpie. Even though she was the newest elder, she was acting high and mighty and around everybody. She blocked the dealings and argued against Namorok, and NG just because she could. Why was she so contrarian? It was in her nature. She loved fights and gossip. Any chance she could cut someone else down, she took it. I guess I always figured she had some deep-seated insecurities and covered it up by attacking other people. Okay, see you later. Okay, let's look and see if there's other people around where we can talk to, because I do want to get the key. But again, we were told to talk to people around. Okay, we got this guy, and we got two more other people, seems like. Let's talk to this person. The dumpy-looking man in his business, hawking a variety of grilled spherical treats of various sizes. Some sold individually, some skewered on a stick, and some are packaged in a set of 4 or 6. A sign on front of the cart reads, KT's 1 yen yeti. Is that natural food? That sounds cool. A cacophony of small trid screens attached to the car, each play a different trid show. Interested in some dango? Taiyaki? I've had taiyaki when I went to Japan. Not a thing for me. Though it could just be the taste. Maybe a nice nikama, a pork bun with Japanese twist. Any taste of Japan treat you can imagine I've got. Maybe a curry fish bowl at your speed. Kita will give you a heart's desire, provided that the desires are on the menu. Okay, it's one new one. Let me have some dango. Your wish is my command, good man. Words. Katie definitely pulls one of the dango sticks out of the cart and drops it onto the grill. A smack of a small robotic arm slides out from the side from the cart and begins turning the stick until the ball is a ball of rice flour is toasted brown color. Lifting them from the grill, Katie dips the entire stick into a tub of sticky brown sauce and hands it to you. The snack has both sweet and sour flavor, reminiscent of the sesame seeds seeds and soy. The ball inside is pleasantly warm and surprisingly chewy. A bit like eating raw dough, but without the tender chalky flavour. Kate leans back, studying you intensely. Betrayed direction from his car face to be lit in constant shifting array of rainbow hues. So what brings you here to Wampa Garden, my friend? Should I doubt it's just for street food? I'm looking for the killer of the elders. Kate shivers, wrapping his arm around his body. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong, but I'm already here. Katia is probably how you pronounce it. I've been hearing about it a lot. Haven't looked too closely though. It's none of my business, you know. Can you tell me about the people here? The tech heads, deckers, riggers, trade pirates, and everything in between. Pardon me. Trade pirates and everything in between. If I had to define this place, I'd say it's actually a crowd of people like us. As far as I can give you basics, I'm a small fry and not explanation on social terms. And he's kind of a crazy tech witch. She summons up spirits and casts spells that work with the spiritual center of the tribe. She's a lot craftier than... Is she actually a technomancer? That'd be pretty cool. She has a bother to everyone acting, or is she just like a weird tech? No. Yeah, no, it's weird because technomancers can take totem spirits as well, but they're not called totem spirits. Or there's something else. She's a lot craftier than she seems. She has this whole mother to everyone act going on, but I've watched her manipulate people into doing all kinds of stuff that they wouldn't normally do. And they thought it was an idea that whole time. Magically, you mean? No, I don't think so. She's just really good with people. If it's a killer, addicted to cybernetic implants, he's always having the newest, freshest gear. The funny thing is, I've never seen him fight. I kind of get the impression he's a coward. He'd rather let one of his buddies handle the problem than do it himself. All I know is Tangy loves drones and does a little decking. Frankly, I find him kind of boring. All he talks about is the neural networks, dark knowledge, and the evolution of machine learning. Like I said, boring. What's with all the trid screens? K beams and gestures at him wildly. You love them. I love trid operas. Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Indonesian. It doesn't matter. This is why I can watch all my favorite shows without missing a beat, and I can work at the same time. A pirated trade is my other business. I rip the streams in the Matrix, tap into right corporate feeds, and resell the chips out here. Katie face falls a bit, her steam ways. I wish I could pay the bills, but the food cart's a lot better than that. I don't know why, but most of the other one seem to like sim over trade. It just hit me that I'm basically talking to like a pirate, like, you know, trade pirates. Basically something that we have in the real world. And I'm just like, this is kind of funny. I don't know what they're missing. They don't know what they're missing out on though. There's one episode of 1,000 Cranes of Autumn. They'd be hooked for life. It's just part of the Orin. I'm just at a part where Orin has a confession to love of Tiakami. But he got to his new mech suit out of the front lines of Mars, so he can't be with her. Downright. To be fair, like, aside from the name Oren, up until the mech suit, I was just like, yeah, this sounds like a normal drama. Then it's like mech suit. I'm like, oh damn. Yeah, it does. I was just like, wait a second. Sounds like an interesting show, right? I switch for example. Kay leads forward in breathless excitement. Oh, you have no idea. 312 episodes, dear God. Chronicling a noble mech pilot and the timeless love affair he has between with a space station governor's daughter. The pathos, the majesty, the Battle of Lagrange 1 spans 5 episodes just by itself. For some reason, I guess it doesn't resonate with the wider public. I don't know why. Who doesn't want to see trid shows about giant robots flying, love, betrayal, and spies? I mean, hell yeah. Out of the shows that I know exist in the Shadowrun universe, between this and the bad fantasy show, I'd take this. I've got to stop myself before I get carried away. Was there something else you needed? Got any thoughts on the murders? Yeah, ignore him. Katie shrugs indifferently. I saw a crowd at Tong's Sensory Carnival earlier today, but I didn't know the guy very well. I'm a Trid fan. He likes Sims. Not a lot of crossover between us. See you. I mean, it's a bit weird that, like, I feel like Twitch shows would have, like, sims, like, oh, hey, like how some shows have video game adaptations. The man is a tired, world-weary demeanor about him. His eyes track your movements with a prostrate position. Something about him, the lines between his eyes, perhaps makes you suspect that he's seen a lot of terrible things happen. He lifts a cup of cheap soy cap as you approach. Oh, you've got a picture. Let me guess, you're freelance velders of paying to look into the murders around here. That's right. Who are you? Call me Demargo. I'm not one of Lampoon's, but I've been here long enough to know they don't think twice about me being here. Demargo drains the last of his soy cup in a large gulp. So, what you found out so far? What's it to you? Professional curiosity. I used to be with the New York Police Department as part of their Thaumaturgical Research Division, part of the CSI branch. Expect I did the magical investigations, while the other guys pulled prints and checked out blood samples. Gianmargo tossed a soy cup towards the near garbage can. It bounces around the rim and rolls inside. When I hear about shit like this happen, I keep my ear to the ground. Old habits, you know. So you're a long way from home, Demargo. Sure I am, and I like it that way. Got burned out on all the blood, murder, and death. Been here since 4-5. Working freelance. It's hard to fight at 55. Where you don't know anybody, but magical detectives are pretty thin on the ground, even in Hong Kong. So I do okay. Elder Ning keeps me looking into the killings after the first murder. She couldn't afford me to as me number 3, so I took the pass. It's not just the money either. Mario shudders and folds his arm across his chest. You see that stuff day after day. You pay a price. It eats away at you. You know what's it like to feel all the sickness and anger every day? To be asked to pick up a murder weapon and relive somebody's death. Feel it going into the neck. Pleading in the voice of a dead woman for her killer to spare you. These days, I'd rather interrogate the living, thanks. That's awful. Awful. It's more than awful. It's a goddamn nightmare, that's what it is. Once I wake up, one I couldn't wake up from for a long time. Sometimes you have to cut and run, start fresh. At least I can pick my jobs now. I can read objects. It's called psychometry. A little trick I managed to pick up on. Don't really know how. I hold something, I can tell you what happened to it. Own it, how it killed someone. If someone loves it or was afraid of it. Useful, but it taxes your heart. And before you ask, no, I'm not going to read anything you find. I told Ning I didn't want any part of this. You want my advice? I'll give you that. But I'm not getting drawn in further. Also, aside from that, is there anything I can help you with? Can you tell me about the Lampoons? I don't know much, even though I've been here for almost 2 years. I'm an outsider. They don't really accept anyone who's not much of a techno as they are. I'm just a crazy mage that lives down the road. Demargo pauses and looks off into the distance as he collects his thoughts. Ed's got some heavy-duty cyberware, basically an enforcer for the rest of the council. He doesn't seem set much in possibility. Ning is a shaman that worships machine spirits. It's all a bunch of hokum, if you ask me. Magic's magic. Whatever you call the source of it is fine by me. But don't ask me to believe in the great spirit of electronics. We're gonna ignore the fringe stuff where it's like sort of hinted that technomancy is weirdly. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore technomancy for that statement. As far as a bunch of else, they tend to be okay. I can't remember if the crash has happened yet. I don't think it has because the crash is like 70 and we're like, yeah, no, the crash was in 70 and it said that it's been 2 years since like 53, so 57, so it's around like 60. Like 56. I'm sure the game states what year it took place somewhere. As for everybody else, they tend to be okay. It's a bunch, a bit strange, but the fighting culture for you. The Scrouch Tech rebuild it, sell off. Some of them even have their own OFAB shops. They're pretty high quality too. People over Asia come to shop here if they need something rare or unusual. High-kit community, all things considered. What do you think of the Battle murders? They all started a couple of weeks ago. Elder Gan was first to go, then was Ning. That's when Ning asked me if I could look into them. He was ripped apart, arms wrenched out of his socket, skin flayed with a razor-sharp knife, and the rest of them are the same. Whatever it did, it didn't care about it being a clean death. Darren noticed his voice leaning towards you so you only can hear. Funny thing here is, the Hong Kong police force was out here a few weeks before that, maybe a month ago or tops. I know that doesn't seem like much, but the Wampons don't usually let the police in here. That by itself is odd enough, but it does get even stranger. The officer were loaded for bears too. Big guns, heavy arms, with NBC seals or works. They went from the parking garage near here, and they were some kind of gunfight. Never made it back. The backups showed the Wampus chased the enemy. Why would they let cops chase them away? Oh, okay, so we have our main objective. We still got optional. We'll go get the key after this one. That's exactly the kind of question you should be asking, and the elders refused to ask when I asked. Go look for yourself if you want. Watch out though, a gang's taking up residents in dealing with drugs, BTLs. They call themselves Red Spires. Not too violent if you don't push them, but be careful what you say. Tom wasn't afraid when he died. He was caught by surprise. The only approach is an eyebrow. That's not what I expected. With all them out of mess and everything, the victims should have been left behind a hell of fear and panic. Are you sure? Very sure. Tong didn't die. Tong didn't die tonight, so the actual signal hasn't had time to fade. There's only a sense of profound accomplishment. I'm really glad my character is speaking like she knows what the astral is. Let's see our stats quickly, just so how ridiculous. Actually, no, we got intelligence. Yeah, level to know willpower, basic charisma. We're fairly intelligent, but like, this is like when you make up what your essay is meant to say because you never make those. When what sounds like it wasn't a crime of passion, a planned attack that some kind of would have left some kind of resonance. In my experience, it's possibly the goal showed to throw off anyone's looking into actual reason. DeMargo closes his eyes and starts to nod. Yeah, if I want to kill someone and get away with it, I try and point a finger at someone who's some kind of monster. Then when I open his eyes and smiles thin, humorous grin. Basic investigation 101. The simplest explanation. It's usually the simplest explanation, but don't discount the other possibilities. You think the mess wasn't incidental? It's a possibility. Ask yourself this. If the mutilations happened after Tong's death, why would the killer perform the kind of ritual? Serial killers who engage in that kind of ritual don't feel perfection about it. In my kind of experience, it tends to feel more like their lack of communication. It's a religious or sexual feeling most of the time. If it didn't feel that way, I don't think the killer is actually pathological. The killer was Tong was killed by a bladed weapon, a single strike to the base of his neck. That's a precise strike. Most knives end the victim with lots of shallow cuts and blood all over the victim and an attacker alike. If Tong was killed with a single strike, he definitely wouldn't have seen it coming, and you can bet your last new yen whoever killed him is highly skilled with a blade. That says to me that the attacker is either a professional hitman or a practicing serial killer. It could be both. Assassins don't tend to be the most apathetic people. Don't consider some information for a moment before speaking again. Was the attack a cut or a thrust? It was a slash. Why? If the wound was a thrust, the attacker was using a knife or some kind. Anything other than 10 inches would be pretty hard to thrust with all kind of an angle. The neck is too high for a long blade. If it's a slash, you're looking for a sword or cleaver. Both of those are popular with triads. They make awful messes, they send a message that's not to be trifled with. See you later. Thank you, buddy. Do I have anything to talk about? Yeah, see you later. Okay, time to go get the optional key. Hopefully we can get the optional key still. There's a why we couldn't. Oh, they couldn't talk to someone there. Is there anything to talk about? Why didn't you tell me about the Elder Magpie disappearance? Well, why wouldn't we have? Her departure from the Wampu isn't related to your investigation. If it happened before the killings began, I'm certain she's shunked off somewhere. Ning's tone is profoundly indifferent. No doubt she comes waltzing back next month, all full of attitude and that life dared to go on without her asking her permission. If she does, we'll welcome her back. Despite our problems with her behavior, her skills make her extremely valuable. I'm taking over maintenance of Matron's infrastructure in her absence, but I'm nowhere near her level. The best I can do is ensure that breakdowns until she runs. I'd like to take a look around her shop. Do you have a key? Ah, we have charisma. I'm decking 4 down. Yes, but there's a lot of sensitive equipment in there, including the community servers. We don't let anyone else in there, not without Wampu's elders in there. Why would you want to take a look around? What do we say? Listen. We'll probably go with decking. These guys seem pretty more okay with decking. Magpie's automated system might have access records for killers' wireless devices. If I can dump the, if I can get a dump of access logs, I might be able to find the killer. I understand repression. The killer is most likely a monster or animal of some kind. All the bodies have been marked with the bite or claw marks. Are you suggesting we're dealing with a sentience that is unlikely? Tog wasn't killed by teeth or claws, but he was killed with a bladed weapon. Tom cooks his head, confused and washing over his face. A bladed weapon? How do you know that? His spine was cut between the 5th and 6th circle vertically. So scoring the bone would indicate a knife or a sword. Tang looks up at Imp and Nod, mouth twist down in grimace. This complicates things. Take the key, but don't break anything, and don't shut off the servers. Was there anything else? Why did you let the HKFP into Wampu Garden last month? Tang is taken aback by the question. For a long moment, he says nothing, and then his composure does return, and he speaks deliberately with great care. We generally don't let the police into Wampu Garden, it's true. But in this case, we made an exception. The police were very polite and offered to look the other way of the dealings with Luoja pirates. They also made it clear if we refused, they might only take our interest to deal with pirates. They would call them a special duty unit and force their way in. We've repelled the Hong Kong police before when they tried to push us around. We could probably drive off the special defense unit as well, but the cost of blood was too high. And Nog shrugs non-communally. Since then, they weren't hurting Vapo. We saw no reason to refuse request. Who are they here for? Weird, eh? Yeah, that is weird. Didn't you say? They didn't say, and they didn't ask. The HKPF isn't exactly forthcoming about their business, and found less when we knew about their interests about the safe of the Wampu Garden. When they took an interest in police, they returned the favour. As far as I know, they went right into the parking garage. Right out, there was a gunfight, and the police never came out. More showed up a few hours later, looking for missing officers. We didn't let those through. We just delivered what was left of their bodies in them. Why didn't you let them in? We were willing to allow a group of 4 in because they asked politely. When reinforcements arrived, there were over 30 of them. We couldn't risk arresting the police setting up camp in our streets. It would have been a circus and disrupted our lives and business. I'll be going then. Okay, so there's a guy over here we can talk to. Let's talk to this guy. Oh, he's a seller. Okay, welcome to Matrix. See what I have for sale. We don't really have money for stuff. Oh, you have diamonds. Is there? I thought we can talk to him. Let's go. I remember seeing him, but she talks. Oh, she talks a lot about like. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, rainbow. Yeah. The woman's spun beautifully hued hair that shifts colours, speckling with every passing moment. She is powerfully built, a natural athlete or someone who works for a great deal. Notably, a large shotgun rests on the arcade cabinet next to her. She affords you a short glance as you approach. When she speaks, you know her particularly lyrical accented voice. So they can help you with that, friend? You're throwing me game off, and I'm trying to beat the best score. Tank War Europe here. I haven't seen that one of those cabinets in years. The woman mouth twists into a wary again. Aye, me neither. I don't know what I'm doing that voice for. Aye, me neither. Managed to find one nearby by accident. But I heard the music and thought, hold on there, Rainbow, you know that tune. After a few moments, Rainbow game is suddenly over and her tank obliterated by a barrage of air-to-ground missiles. She hissed her breath through, partially conscious. Piss on your mum. Alright, Robert, that was. Why does she like have an Irish accent or something? Right then, Rainbow stakes her head in again and turns to face you fully. You don't seem like vampires there. They're all might touched, yeah. You might be too, but you don't advertise it like they do. What's your story? I'm looking into murders that have been happening around here. Ah, that's some nasty work. Bodies hacked up into chunks, bitten out of them. Make sure you're loaded for something big and ugly. That's for certain. Where are you from? I can't place your accent. Born and raised in Dublin. Okay, got it. Dublin. Down in the banks of Leafley. Spent most of my early life there working security in sacred spaces. You know, the historical sites of undeveloped land. The Green Movement was big there. It was a bit like being a park ranger, but it didn't beat the dead end ass job. Island, or to give it its proper name in like Shadowrun, Turnanog, and is really interesting. So is the UK, because I need to look this up, but apparently my friends said that UK got weirdly more magical and trees just started growing everywhere to the point where like cities have to like keep cutting down trees because they keep growing back so quickly due to magic. Spent all of obviously Ireland and the UK are different places. Quickly want to state that. They're different places. There's just like Turnanog is an elf-ruled country and has an elf government and is interesting. Return to Jerusalem, I think, yeah. Trees are important. Spent all of the time in County Dublin and Walklow. A lot of animals that I found out being a ranger put me close with them. It was a good time. Make sure all the budding new species, the boogies and the centaurs don't mess up their ecology. The Wicklow National Park and keep nastier bits like each Ursing running from amok among populated areas. Each one? Isn't that a demon horse? Demon horse? Yeah, that's right. They're cannibal horses. They're nasty buggers. They drag people into bogs and drown you. Yeah, some people call them kelpies and we count for water plants that they pop out. Yeah, kelpies. Cool mythical creatures. Glad to see them in Shadowrun. Anyway, I was saying, problem was I started to develop this weird knack. Just a small thing. I kept magic from working from around. Spells don't go off, spirits fall apart, and the petitions got real fessy, you know? Tired to make things worse. This is around the time where Liam O'Connor through his coup and formed Tiernog. Okay, so yeah, sure. All the fancy talk about elves and ancient magic. 'Twas a bit scandalous to have a woman guarding ancient sites that wasn't just mundane but also killed magic around her. So I kind of got fired. You're older than Turnanog? Bang on. I don't look a day over 25, do I? Remember flexes arms rightly. I am Irish. I'm not one of those noggins. Pack of purities, punters, and a lot of them. Always going on about their ancestral lands and glory to a place that passed and all that bullshit. God, I'm pretty and I saw them kick a dozen old Irish families off their land just because their ears aren't pointy enough, or didn't meet their stupid, arbitrary criteria for old nobility. It was that kind of thing that brought me back to the RIA, just like the bad old days of the Troubles. The Skivers and Newt here didn't pay for the land, they took it. They just had a pack of bullies with guns. Rainbow scratches her face up in disgust and sneer and mockery, spits on the ground. I've been sympathetic to the little guy in the fight. They offered to pay me for help, and I said yes, simple as that. So you became a terrorist. Okay, we're getting some weird actual history here. Fad, don't be so dramatic. They mixed it up with a lot of cyber snitching and gave me a lot of the kit that got me to exchange overseas for work for them. Smuggling, running guns, making contract in Europe. Same kind of shit all over Revelation groups do. Seeing as how I kind of found got kicked out of their little house, I was glad to do it. I still do work for them nowadays, but there's a lot less of it. Lady Diana cracked down on dissonance, but good. I have mixed feelings. While I know the tier governments are meant to be good because they're elf supremacists and that's very bad, drawing it to the Troubles is a bit weird. Because, I don't know, it's a bit different. It's fairly different. Because, like, the UK and Britain was a foreign power in Ireland. And the elves, I mean, technically not. I don't know enough about Earth. I don't want to say if, like, elves do just like Ireland, but it's more of a nationalistic force taking over a government and like racist supremacy rather than like a colonial power. What are you doing in Wampa Garden? Me, I'm a big game hunter these days. Wait, what? I'm a bit of a big game hunter these days. I get to strange places looking for kind of pair creators that I've never seen before, and I put a bullet in them. This person's life is wild, actually. Ignoring the weird, real-world like connotations of what she's saying, this person's life is wild. I didn't expect to go from I was like, oh yeah, I was hacking for like a revolutionary group back in Ireland. Then she's like, oh yeah, I hunt big game creatures. And I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what? That's wild. Only the nasty ones. No point in hunting tailor cats. It's only such things like gargoyles, baghests. I can pronounce that right. Come on. I literally model myself as an elf. I should be able to pronounce goddamn some Celtic words and whatnot. All working over them with them. My good youth those things keep me alive. She does she better not hunt for Dante. Dante's a good boy. The goodest of boys. Hope he's still out here in this time. I was out here in Jessica last year hunting one Indonesian vampires. You heard them. Call them likely or... Okay. Oh god, I know this word. I am aware what these things actually are. Here's a fun fact for you. Pangias, depending on who you ask, their heads and guts, the heads and guts come out of their body and clavicle and fly around like a burned mess with a pow. And like... I think mythologically... Remember the weird Shadowrun in the... Yeah, I remember her. The one of like the weird cyber things, and she said she was forced to get them because she worked for like Az Technology, I'm pretty sure, or something, or like some big corp, and she fled. She complained about missing. Oh wait, is this the teammate that she had? This is Ratchet. Damn, that was Ratchet. Oh, it's Ratchet. Damn, nice. Good for Ratchet. Damn, Ratchet's been all over the world. Good for him, man. I'm glad that's like... the heads and guts come out, A rainbow blaze a demon prodigy floats around. It took me a solid 2 months to track it down, but I did. Once the job was done, I asked myself, okay Rainbow, where's the best place in East Asia to find some action? So Hong Kong it was. All with the key whatsits and the bigger concentration of odd creatures you'll ever find in a city. Been spending a lot of time down in storm drains these days. I heard rumors of a rat king down there. There's a mess of rat devils that will get tied up into big awful nests. Awful beasts tracking down. But I haven't figured out its only amount of time. She puts a barrel of a shotgun in efficient. See you later, Rainbow. Good luck hunting the rat king. I really hope that's not... That sounds like setting up for a quest later in this game, I'm gonna be honest. Oh, we got this person, Wen Kui Kong. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to the Kong attire of the finest place of Wenpeng Garden. I'm a master in Kwong. How may I serve you? Didn't expect the card to have a tailor in it. Many people here don't. There's a mistaken impression that vampires are only interested in technology and the Matrix, but even technologists need clothes, don't they? And any manner of gratitude towards the line's work that they may add protection they require. I, myself, I'm a material scientist as well as a keen follower of fashion trends. What's the material sciences? Fiber related, of course, primarily amaranth fibers, geographic composition, and dot rights. It affords me a certain unique purpose on where to design clothing that is not only beautiful but defensive as well. I specialize in high fashion body armor similar to those crafted by secure tech or fashion buyers, but with much more personal touch. Let me see what you have. I can't afford any of these. Street monk, shamanistic, street tech. That'd probably be useful. Yeah, these all would be useful, but nah, don't have any. Goodbye. Wait, what is even our outfit currently? Our outfit is a street rigger. Okay, cool. Rainbow, interesting character. She seemed pretty cool. Interesting to learn about like Ireland from like, or Ternanog from like a more like Ternanogian perspective, or an Irish perspective as she was. She must be one of the first elves thing there, because I'm pretty sure Ternanog. Ah, okay, so we're in here. Display case. The bins is filled with sort of chips, rental, and add-on module of Cyberdecks. They don't seem to be arranged in any certain fashion and spread across the surface area. Search through the bin. You sift through the bin and display case, searching for anything that might prove interesting. Strangely, the bin seems missing parts. There are plenty of storage memory, active memory chips, and I/O handlers on display case, but no PCPs or responsible ingredients, the most expensive part. But anyone trying to build a deck using only these parts would have wound up with a glorified comlink. Richter gestures towards one of the displays. A small pair of cyberdecks sit in locked cases. Maybe Magpie took those chips when she left. Then again, if she did that, why didn't she just leave completed decks behind? God, I'm just remembering the questions we were digging through bins. The whole quest in Returns, where it's like Blitz's quest, and like the guy there, the accountant, is like, "Why do Shadowrunners keep digging through bins?" It's because information. Go. The front of the server case hangs open. The inner machineries are quiet without power. A clipboard stuck to the side of the piece is duct tape. It's paper filled with as long as the programming in place. A quick glance over the program reveals names like Bugs, and Black Hammer. Undoubtedly, this was Magpie's attack program. Yeah, no, Black Hammers, I remember, but I'm pretty sure Black Hammer's an attack program in the actual game. Storage in the tabletop, storage machine. A solid red light blinks in the rear of the optic server. Up close inspection, it looks like a Fuji XB 1000 backup drive with its isolated battery power. Probably a safeguard with its own server data. If the main power supply failed, the XB drives are current wired, cheap with a ton of storage capacity, but if it loses power, it loses all the data. Unfortunately, the isolated drive's power has long since run out. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's much around here. I mean, Magpie's desk. Let's look in the bathroom first. Is this the little pop-up? You search Magpie's bathroom. There's nothing much: a toothbrush, a toilet paper, hairpins, and collective of cheap makeup. A combination of bath shower units. However, the mirror reflects dry with reddish stains near the drain. Blood. Dried blood. Pried open the drain cover. It's likely... Prying open the drain cover, it looks like quite a bit was shed as well. Shit, maybe... Yeah, not 20 perception to see idea god. Like, it's been like 2 years, it said like a year, wasn't? Shit, maybe Magpie didn't take a trip after all. With the amount of blood, I'm guessing someone killed her quietly and drained the blood in the bath. Make her cleaner to relocate. Clever, that's a careful plan. I was thinking there's a lot more going on with these murders than we initially were told. First, they don't even mention Magpie to us. Now it looks like she's been killed. Something's not right here, Hyujin. Let's not mention this to the elders. If they're hiding anything, they may start cleaning up their tracks better. Magpie's desk is the kind of messy most people only associate with Rat's Nest, hoarders and deckers. The surface of the desk is littered with cigarette butts, half-finished cans of soy calf, and scraps of electronics. A towering pile Pile of empty instant noodle bowls sit next to it. The sides are Bazboodles, Honest Wang's instant old-time llama, and depictions a line of top hat wearing caterpillars dancing with canes. Hey, awesome! I didn't think anyone but me liked Honest Wang's noodles. Flavor like you'll never taste in a package of instant noodles, I promise. Got it attached to the side of the container. See, these cheesy curry broccoli. I don't know why I never caught on, honestly. Duncan shoots you a sideways glance, murmuring suited voice. Gee, who could pass with delicious cheese curry flavor, instant dried vegetables? Gulbert seems obvious to Duncan's sarcasm. I know, right? People out there have no idea what they're missing. Like a curry delight they're missing. Oh, this is what I love about Shadowrun sometimes. You go from horrific, clean-cut murder scene to your teammates talking about instant noodles. I love it. Search for desk. You digitally root around the desk, doing your best to avoid the disgusting parts of spill. Spill isn't easy. The desk drawers are stuffed with overflowing receipts, cigarette packs, optical chips, cables. Most of the containers are boring, useless and disgusting. While searching for the bottom drawers, however, a low quality of tin box catches the eye. Something has pried the latch off, leaving a ragged hole where the lock should be. The interior of the box has several sleeves for storage keys, all of which are empty. A small note is tacked to the interior of the box. Spare stockroom key. The door is the rear of Yang's restaurant. Do not lose these. Use only if available to open the stockroom. Ah, the plot thickens. A secret lock box. The latch and lock torn out. All the keys of Magpie's treasure trove missing. What do you suppose she? Do you think someone supposed stole them? Who do you think supposed stole them? Probably whoever cleared out Magpie's equipment. That makes sense. The culprit would have to be in a hurry. If you see one opponents here are as tech savvy as they seem, a cheap maglock wouldn't have presented too much difficulty to them. And anyone looking to loot Magpie's shop wouldn't have passed up to stockroom. It wouldn't be full of even more valuable gear. Leave the desk alone. Find Magpie's key to the storeroom. How am I going to do this? Don't think there's anything there. Because they've been broken into, so we need, like, leave desk alone. Can't do that. Okay. I'm like, okay, is there anything else we can do? Anyway, we need to end the stream, so I'm just, like, looking around quickly to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah. Okay, cool. Leave them alone. Okay, cool. Yeah, we did look for everything. Nice. We're gonna get out into the main street. Anyway, that's probably gonna be that's gonna be the end of this stream today. In the middle of the run. Let's save. Okay. I'll see you guys next week for more Shadowrun Hong Kong. I hope you all have a good day. I'll terrorize on weekends and Devil May Cry 3 on Tuesday, like always. Until next time, hope you guys have a good day. Thank you, Day Off, for always coming. See you guys later. Enjoy your days.